Squilliam? That guy who made millions doing what you wish you could do?
Don't rub it in.
I mean, Mr. Krabs is a shit boss. He's mad greedy, but he's a good friend. Because he was like, you know what? You can rent out the restaurant now, because fuck that guy. He's made your life miserable, and that's my job. You know what?
I almost like to think it was also like that competitiveness that Krabs also has, because he loves money.
Yeah.
And Squilliam has more money than him, obviously.
Facts.
So therefore, he probably was like, "Well, you got more money than me, motherfucker. I'll show you a good time." And then tell Squidward, like, "We're gonna take him to the fucking cleaners."
We'll take him to the cleaners.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Double D experience, or more like the...
Happy July 4th also, if, like, you know, like, because this episode's going to be dated past that, but, you know, happy 4th for all
almost
of you.
a week. Yeah.
But, you know, happy
4th.
past 4th, whatever.
Well, I'm sure their 4th was better than mine, Dennis.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened, my boy?
Well, no, it's actually not even that funny. I mean, it probably will be funny to all of you, but to me, it's been pretty much agonizing. I had a back spasm on Saturday. And, yeah, for those of you that don't know what that is, that's when you pull a central muscle in your back due to any number of reasons, due to either inactivity or too much activity, or in my case, the fact that I have a bulging disc. I basically collapsed, and I literally could not walk for the entirety of that day. I just completely threw out my back, and I spent pretty much the last 4 days in my bed, including the 4th. Yeah, so, couldn't go out with anybody or have fun. Not that I was fucking invited anywhere, but, yeah, it was pretty awful. And my sister was sick, so she had to take care of me while she was sick. So that was also pretty good. It's happened to me before. I had this 4 years ago, actually, once. And that happened to me when I was getting out of the shower. And so I was basically dead fucking naked. And I just, like, collapsed on my way out of the shower to the point where, again, I couldn't walk. That time, I would say, was even worse. Because that was when I was going to school at Montclair. And there were classes I couldn't skip. So imagine having a fucked up back to the point where you can't even basically arch your back in any other way besides the neutral position. Having to walk up that damn hill. It was a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to hobble my way up, but I was meeting with this girl in my class that I also matched with on Tinder, so I'm just like, but see, go. Not that even if I did wind up getting with that girl, because I didn't, because she eventually ghosted me. Not that I'd be able to fucking do anything about it. You can't exactly thrust when you got, like, a central muscle in your back that is affecting all your other fucking nerves. Dude, it's the goddamn worst, man. I mean, you want to talk about tentacles? I literally feel like him. You remember that? You remember that fucking episode where, like, SpongeBob and Patrick are, like, arguing over his attention?
Yeah, and then Squidward throws out his back. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just that's how oh, my back.
I threw out my back.
I wish that, like, a fucking, like, probably mutated sponge would, like, head cannon my ass back into position and just snap it way in. I feel significantly better. Like, I can walk normally again. I can keep my back straight. I can bend and, like, minorly and do shit. Like, it's just, you need to literally rest it when something like that happens. But I saw my chiropractor. It's just so fucking frustrating because I'm pretty sure the reason it even happened is because I had acupuncture. I had it for the first time. Never had it before. One of the other doctor there knew acupuncture. The other guy recommended it to me, and he's never steered me wrong. Like, chiropractors are pretty hit or miss. It can be dangerous seeing one sometimes. True. Mine is a fucking miracle worker. I fucked up my shit so many times, and he has healed me like a goddamn mage in, like, my party, going to stab, you know, like
he's your white mage,
like that, yeah, pretty much.
Mage,
and
yep.
he is my white mage, and he looks like Johnny Sins, so it's really funny. So it's actually pretty funny, like going to see him sometimes. I don't think he acts like Johnny Sins, and he's, like, not as skinny in the head.
I'm just imagining all, like, the women. I'm imagining everyone that works for him is just women. It's just always, like, hot women, like, that are working for him, and you're just like. And then imagine if he actually was Johnny Sins. He just clicks on you. Wait a minute.
Wait a
bald,
minute.
hot women, is a doctor, does multiple things, and has multiple professions. Hey, yo, you're Johnny Sins. What the fuck you doing here?
The jig is up, and he just jumps out the window. Then must find another pussy on this day. Nah, he doesn't. He looks like probably like, I guess I would say like a little less fit, but like also like more normal looking than Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins has a fucking pinhead. Let's just face it. The guy's got a pinhead. No disrespect to the man. That man gets more pussy in a week than I know for a fact I will ever get in a day probably, because it is literally his job. Like that's the thing. He's a porn star. So I'm not like feeling inferior about that or anything, but let's just be real. Man's got a pretty fucking scrawny dome. It's just kind of like, and like my chiropractor doesn't. The point is, the other guy there knows acupuncture. Bad idea. Very bad idea. Like, the needles themselves didn't bother me. And for anyone who doesn't know what acupuncture is, it's like a form of back therapy invented by, like, the Chinese, where, like, they do, like, needles in your back. What he said, yeah. And, like, they like, redirects the blood flow, like, in your back. But here's the thing. It, like, took blood flow away from my lower back and away from my disc where I needed it. And this guy doesn't understand my body like my chiropractor does, who I've seen since I was in high school, right? So he cupped me, right? Which is where they sort of, like, suck, like, toxins or, like, bad toxin bloods out through, like, little holes in your back with, like, a fucking flame. I turned around, and the guy had a goddamn fire stick in his hand, and I'm like, what is this? Nor did he tell me that it was going to leave marks on my back for a supposedly weeks on end, giant bruise-looking things that don't even hurt. But it didn't. Apparently, I'm a fast healer. The point is, literally, I had that, and I saw, like, my chiropractor for, like, 2 months, fixing my bulging disc. I literally felt it moving back into place as I was doing the stretches at home. I see this guy twice, and he gives me acupuncture, and then 3 days later, I can't move from back pain. So, not to doubt the man's credentials, but, like, he just didn't understand, like, my needs, like the other doctor did. Like, he's not like, he's not like Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins knows needs, all right? Clearly, he's had his job security for as long as he has because he understands that the woman, the female form, does in fact possess a clitoris. A lot of guys ignore it. Or, you know, if you say the wrong things on Twitter, they'll think, they'll tell you that they think it's in the ass, which it's not. We all know that the woman's clit is inside of her open eyeball. Let's be real.
The clit's on the forehead, guys. Come on.
Just rub the forehead aggressively like a fucking magic lamp.
Yeah, just get your hand and just start smacking her forehead.
Shit just lights up like.
It's like, hey, you like that, bitch?
Yeah. I make fire. But yeah, so I've been bedridden for like the last fucking 4 days, and I've elevated my legs to help me sleep a little bit. It's been way better these past couple of days. It has been just naturally healing. But I'm just icing it right now. So I was originally gonna be like, Dennis, let's keep today short, but I think I can power through. Like I said, I've been doing better. I can sit now. But holy fuck, it's like that's been my last couple of days, just straight up. Oh, my back.
And guys, don't let him fool you. David's a champion. You got this. I know you do.
Thanks, man. It seems like every time I actually start using Tinder again, this happens to me.
Wait, did you use it like during the weekend or?
Yeah, no, I've been using it a lot more just because I thought I originally heard it was a good place to meet older women. It's not. It's like that's a young person's app for sure. But whatever.
I wonder if there is one for like strictly like older women. I mean, because I know guys also have like we have our fetishes too, and like I mean, not that I'm not gonna like lie and be like, oh yeah, I never fantasize about older women. Of course I fucking have, but I really wonder if there's like a specific app for that. It's like older women's are us or something. Like,
You're talking to the right guy. You're talking to the right guy because that's what I tried first. And let me tell you, some of the websites that have been recommended by literal newspapers, straight up news articles, are not what they seem. I have an account somewhere that I can't delete because you literally can't delete it or hide it without giving you your credit card information. And it's not even a fucking dating service app. It's one of those spam sites that you'd be like, yes, hello? I'm calling about the hot, sexy singles in my area. Like, it literally masked itself as like a dating site, but it wasn't. And now I literally get emails saying like, Jess, hi, D, whatever my username was. It is me. I like your profile. How are you? I don't have a fucking image on that site. I never uploaded that. It's like, it's bots. It's a phishing site.
Oh, yeah,
And now my shit is on there and I can't delete it. But supposedly there are legitimate ones that you can pay for. There's one called Cougar Life, I think. And I'm not paying for that shit. Fuck it. Like, I'm not that depraved. Like, I'm not gonna, like, pay for, like, dating services when stuff like Match exists or whatever, which I'm sure you can also meet an older woman on if you tried. There's that. There's something called Adult Friend Finder, which I've heard good things about, but still looks fucking sketchy as hell. Like,
I mean,
they all look sketchy as hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even Tinder for I guess for when I was using it, even seemed a bit sketch, little sus. Whenever I looked at it, because I mean, the whole point of the fucking app is not really to look nice. It's just like, you're here to get pussy. That's it, and like, that's what we're gonna give you. And we ain't gonna make our app look nice because we don't need to. And I'm fine with that, because I mean, at least it's being honest with itself. Like, okay, you're just here to get pussy, and I'm just here to get pussy. So, that's what we're gonna do. But it's, but like, the thing is that a lot of those apps, really, if you look at them, like at least a face value, they all look the same. Really, they all look equally fucking sus to anybody, essentially. Like, me going into it when I was in the game for even just a little bit, like, that one plus OkCupid and a few others, like, all looked like real suspicious. Like, at one point it was just gonna ask me, like, hey, yo, by the way, you're not gonna be able to use the app and get pussy unless you give me your credit card. Like, I literally thought, like, I was gonna get that email, like, at least one time.
The website that I was on, I can't hide my account until I give them my credit card. It's a scam. You literally can't do anything on the website until you give them your information, and then my email is just there. And I tried to even redirect it by creating a fucking another, like, Gmail account and, like, having it resend there to, like, reset my information, and you can't even do that. The links on the website literally don't work. I read a whole blog just shitting on that website, being like, the whole thing is a huge fucking scam. And I'm like, yeah. An actual fucking Detroit newspaper recommended this to me, but I guess you know what? It's Detroit, so
fuck
I guess
Detroit.
That explains it.
No one likes Detroit.
No one likes Detroit. Doesn't like Detroit, dude. You ever heard of the top 3 things to do in Detroit?
Nope.
Well, number 3 is get mugged.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, yeah, that's right, because there's nothing good to do in Detroit. That's what
Number 2. Number 2 is to lose your job in the automotive industry. And number 1 is to move the fuck away from Detroit. That's the top 3 things to do in Detroit, my friends.
I could have sworn there was a fucking song that went on about, at least we're not Detroit. I think it was shitting on Cleveland or something, and it's just like, but we're not Detroit. Like, it was at the end.
Yeah, fuck you, Cleveland. Most of America knows you as everyone's favorite black cartoon character now. Eat a dick. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family.
I gotta say one thing though about Cleveland, and this is nothing against. There's nothing against black people.
No.
Cleveland has gotta be the most un-black character I've ever seen.
He's voiced by a white guy.
I know that's also part of it, and it's also just like the way he acts is, I guess you could say, is definitely not keeping to the stereotypes. Sure, but at the same time though, it's like the voice he has is a voice that I've never heard on any black person that I've ever met in my life. And maybe that's also because I've been living around like New York and Jersey for much of my life, and like when I was in New York, like every black guy that I heard was always like, very street sounding. And he is like, Cleveland is who I'm talking about. Like,
yeah.
It's like, what are you? Like,
he's got
like,
a very
where the fuck
unique
you from?
voice. Say what you will about Family Guy, and obviously the show's not as good as it used to be. Still got some primo voice acting up in there. Very unique voices, and all with all those characters and everything. Like Quagmire is such a unique one that I feel is hard to impersonate.
I don't think so. I do them all the time.
All right.
Peter, let's go. I'm gonna go fuck your wife. I'm gonna fuck Brian.
Whoa, he hates Brian. What the?
Yeah, I'm gonna hate fuck him.
Lois, when you invited me over to tear up your carpet, this is not what I.
This is not what I had in mind.
This is not what I thought you meant. I gotta admit, I'm a little let down, but
why
I'm
is
happy
Brian?
to help.
Why is Brian on the bed? Why does he got his hands handcuffed to the bed? I'm not used to this. I fuck bitches, but this is nothing.
I don't know. I think it's hard personally, but
What?
dude, I think so. To be truly authentic with it, I don't think either of us can get it.
Plankton is a harder voice to fucking.
I disagree.
No.
Well, then again,
like get it just like his voice, because he has a very specific voice.
Grabs.
No, but his cadence though too, like it's just like his own thing. Like I haven't heard it.
Karen, my computer wife.
I'm going to fuck your circuits, Karen. We're going to make little computer plankton children.
He just probably like plugs his whole body like into just one USB slot.
He's got like his fucking antennas look as if they could just like stick into a fucking outlet, and it's just like, there you go, like
That's like,
take the information and electricity, whatever the fuck you do.
oh, computers get off on information, so that actually makes a lot of sense. It's sort of the equivalent of like having two dicks, right? It's like he can double penetrate her with his cranium. It's like headbanging at a concert, but literally.
I actually want to ask you, David, little hypothetical for us today, and this also goes for you guys out in the comments.
Before we move on, can I very quickly just say one very quick thing about Tinder before you ask me your question?
Go ahead.
And please note your question down so you don't
you
don't forget it. I'm sorry. It's just
Two
before we completely
dicks, are you into them?
Look, man, I'm not gay, but if there's two of them,
No.
Cancels each other out. Okay.
Save it for.
That was actually your question.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well,
We're gonna go
on a limb here and say
we're gonna go a little in depth with this, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, David, go ahead.
like I matched with this girl on Tinder 4 years ago when this thing with my back happened. My grandmother had also just died. It was a very weird time for me in my life, but like literally this happened and like my hand was shaking when I met her and she thought I was nervous. I'm like, no, I literally can't feel my fucking vertebrae. I swear. It's not because I'm nervous, but no, we got along until like she fucking fled the scene of the crime, like for not even just me, through everyone. But then 4 years later, like I've just been actively using Tinder again because I hate myself and I have legitimately lost control of my life. This is a actual cry for help on my podcast. This isn't part of the act anymore. I've actually matched with some pretty fucking sexy ass women and have been talking with them. There's this one who's like says she was super into beards, likes video games, and she's only looking for a fuck with buddy. So thank you, please God. Like I've been definitely trying to get with this one. She's fucking hot as shit too, and verified too. So like I know it's not like some like catfish be like I'm not like your other girls.
It's like Roz. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah, like Tinder does verify. Like when you make your account, you have to take two selfies in like the same position with it now to prove it's you. Like there are unverified accounts on there, so don't fuck with those. That's probably somebody weird. But you know, whatever. Point is though, fuck Tinder. Because first of all, I went on there to try to meet older women, and I swiped through all of the older women in my area so fast that it straight up said, yeah, we need to start reaching outside of your area now because you've already swiped through pretty much like every older woman. So I'm like, all right, cool. Not a good app to meet older women. And more than anything else, I don't, here's the tech for Tinder. Just mash the like button. If you actually fucking like, if you swipe left, you're never going to find somebody you perfectly match with anyway. And then if you actually do, who knows? You might not even strike up a conversation or they might unmatch or whatever. Literally just hit the like button and then pick through what you have. That's the actual optimal Tinder tech. If you use Tinder the way it was intended, you're gonna have a bad time. And they know this now because there are ads that like pop up really quickly when you're swiping through rapidly that you have to X out of immediately. They know the drill. Tinder knows like their fucking audience base. But point is, I do that, and then I'll get like a little notification saying that I have a match. I'm like, yay, maybe this is somebody attractive. Hopefully they're not looking for anything serious because fuck that. and I'm not even kidding, half the time it's a dude. And before you get on me, because I know what some people might be thinking, your head might immediately go to the gutter, be like, wow, David, you fucking transphobe, but what are you talking about? No, I'm not talking about trans women, and I'm not referring to them as dudes. I'll respect how you identify. Literal men, like, hi, my name is Jake. Like, it's a dude with a beard, a cis man, and I'm like, why? I have it set to only women. What the fuck? I don't get why this keeps happening. Like I matched with there's this big black gentleman saying like I'm just looking for something real, looking to have some fun. I'm just like, bro, No.
I mean, I'd message him and be like, "Yo,
now if
down
you
to-"
had 2 dicks, now it's a party.
Wait, hold on. If that did happen to me, I'd be like, "Hey, yo, man, you want to like play some games and shit?" Like, think it's like, it's like I know I ain't exactly what you were looking for sexually, but it's like that's still like a good avenue to be like, "Hey, yo, homie, like you want to play some?" I don't play Madden, but it's like it's like, "Oh, you want to play Madden together?" It's like, "Yeah, yo, bro, like, come over." So it's like, and then you have to fucking explain to everyone. It's like, "Who the fuck? Where'd you meet this guy?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, Tinder." And you have to just like kind of stand there, and everyone's just kind of looking at you like, like you bet this motherfucker on Tinder. It's like, yeah. So like, are y'all fucking? Like, it's like, no. Like we just we bros. We just chilling. We really just chilling. Like we just playing Madden right now, bro.
Oh, that's amazing. That would make such a fucking funny story.
That's actually, I feel as if though, like for a lot of guys, like I guess who do use Tinder, like. For us, it's like if that kind of shit happens, it's like we kind of roll with it, you know? Because like we kind of make friends, like guys usually like make friends in the most like unusual places, and like I think like for me, like I don't actively go around like seeking new friends and shit, but it's like if it does happen, I'm like, hey, yo, let's roll with it, let's go, like we out here.
I prefer. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and like it's like, hey, yo, let's all play 8-player Smash, like let's fucking go, like let's do it, like. So yo, call up what the fuck was his name? I just met him like yesterday on Tinder. It's Randy. Yeah, hit up Randy. Let's go. Gotta fill up these slots.
You show up, they're all naked.
He's already got like the butter or like the vanilla whipped cream like all over his body already, and it's just like,
Lord.
It's like, yo, it's like, Randy, can you come here for a second? It's not that kind of party, bro. Like
you said Smash.
It's like, yeah, it's Super Smash, motherfucker. Do you not play video games? It's like, I do. Of course I do.
Bro, I'm trying to Super Smash my brothers. What are you talking about, man? You said let's play some 8-player Smash Brothers, and I got a little choked up.
And then it just
cuts to my bros, bro. I'm just trying to smash my bros. Nothing gay about it.
It just cuts to then like all 8 of them on the couch, but just Randy's still there, like with like the vanilla cream on his nipples. It's just like he's the only one naked out of that entire couch, and everyone's just like kind of sitting a little bit far away from it. It's like, yeah, Randy, I'm gonna just move to the side for a little bit, because I'm not about this.
Well, fuck you. He's just eating Cheetos in the corner, just all over his like fucking body. He's like, well, fuck you guys. I got my own couch now.
Yeah, and he's like that one guy who uses a Joy-Con to play Smash.
Oh lord, it's all greasy.
It's like that Joy-Con that you eventually end up throwing out because it just gets caked on with fucking Cheetos. Also, to everyone who also does use Joy-Cons, or even back then when anyone used the Wiimote sideways to play Smash, like what the fuck is wrong with you?
They somehow invent a worse way to play Smash in every single Smash game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's also
like it's the Wiimote in Brawl, the solo Wiimote. Which everyone was like, this is ass. Then the next game comes around, and you can play the game on a literal fucking 3DS. Like you can play the Wii U version on the 3DS. Which is awful because it's not a control stick, it's a thumb pad, as well as the giant-ass gamepad, which only one person can use. So if somebody came to a tournament and it wasn't their setup and they wanted to use the gamepad because they were that weird kid, we had to let them use it. And now it's the worst way possible, the single fucking Joy-Con. You know how many inputs you need to make in Smash? You know how, like, precise the timing of that game needs to be? It's a fighting game. Shit's important. Can't do that with a Joy-Con.
Yeah, GameCube controllers will always be the goats when it comes to controllers. Like
they're ergonomically horrible, but like they're optimal for Smash. Games designed around it. So
I mean, I think the Pro controller is also pretty decent too.
Oh yeah, a lot of people use the Pro controller now.
I think it's a lot of like the veterans that are like so like hardcore, like fuck everything. GameCube controller is the best, like and everything. And I mean, I've used both, and GameCube controller ergonomically, as David said, is kind of. Not ass, but weird. It feels so. Yeah, like it feels so alien in my hands, and I thought I felt that with like the N64 controller back in the day. But like this is like another thing, like entirely how it feels in my hands, and like I still prefer. I think as far as controllers go for games, period, I still think the Xbox 360 controller is like the way to go for me. And I mean, I've played. I hacked it, of course. I used Dolphin to play fucking Melee once, and I used the 360.
The whole community does now.
I mean, yeah, like everyone got it, but it's like I use a 360 controller and I thought it felt pretty good. Like it's just also what I'm comfortable with it. And at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't play Smash like all you guys, but like playing. I think certain controllers are better than others, but people's bias towards the GameCube controller, I think, is also not unfounded. That's what everyone kind of was used to when Melee like took off, like back in the day. Like, and who the fuck am I to be like, oh no, you're wrong, and your controller's ass, and it feels weird. And I will stand by that it does feel weird. Like, fucking GameCube controllers are not fun to hold. They don't like. Like
we're so used to it because the competitive scene blew up with Melee, really started getting its roots in 2004. And that was, when obviously the GameCube was the GameCube controller was the only choice to play Smash because it was for the fucking GameCube. So, like, that's what we did with Melee. Then you could use it with Brawl because it had those ports. Then they made the adapter for Smash 4 and with Ultimate as well. Never going to go away for it because they realize we're just so used to it at this point. But that doesn't mean you can't invent other ways to play. But going off of what you said, I got to level with you, man. The 360 controller, oh, it was so good. I loved the Xbox 360 controller. I loved it. I don't like the new Xbox ones. They're chunky. And the triggers
they're very
feel
clicky,
weird,
like
and
plasticky.
they're very clicky too. Yeah, I can't use my 360 controller to play zombies on my PC anymore because it has candle wax all over it and melted, and like it literally a candle melted on top of it because that's what we used to keep the Xbox. You know what happened? The new consoles come around, the Xbox gets demoted to a DVD player. The controller just stays there because it's only my family that uses it to watch DVDs every now and again. Long story short, candles near a fireplace. It's a candle. It melts on top of it. Now it don't work. But I actually use my Pro controller to play zombies now, and that's immaculate. I got to get it fixed up soon.
Oh, yeah.
What I do hate, though. What's up? Yeah, I'll go on.
Oh, just because, like, the compatibility that they have. Like, it surprised me when I found out that the Pro controllers were compatible with, like, even Steam games. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Let's go. When I saw they were compatible with Steam because I knew I didn't have to buy a new controller.
Yeah,
exactly. I have to use any of those fucking, like, annoying-ass, like, syncing programs that take, like, so much, like, trial and error to get
and
the
they're
controller
also
working in the
ass,
first
too.
place.
Like,
I know.
Like, they're so terrible. Like, when you have to basically download an external program to fucking get the thing to work. And I don't know if Dolphin's kind of gotten around to maybe, kind of, I guess, adding compatibility with.
There's a driver you download, and that's it. You don't need a program or anything.
But like, that's the thing though. Like, I hate anything that I have to almost download as if it's like a dongle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the reason why I fucking hate Apple so much with a passion. Is because like you just make this shit basically more expensive because I have to buy this. It's one thing downloading a fucking driver off of like, let's say of Google and like you just it's for free, so just download it. But for Apple, it's like, oh, you gotta buy this dongle and you gotta buy this other dongle for this dongle. You're gonna have to suck this dick too to get this dongle. Like, it's like you're gonna have to do all this shit just to like actually, I guess, have the utility that you would have had with like a PC right off the bat. But it's just gonna cost you more now. Not to mention that you already paid $1,000 more for a fucking iMac. I mean, again, for all you people who use Macs, I'm not hating on, I guess, the computer itself. It's a fucking decent computer.
Go fuck
yourselves. I guess David, tells you to go fuck yourselves. But, like, for the computer itself, it's fine for what it does. But it's like, and if you guys are willing to pay that tax, who the fuck am I? But it's at the same time, though, like, I don't like how the company that you guys, I often see a lot of Apple guys, even though the blatant, I guess, fucking of them takes place and it's right in front of them, they still go like, yeah, I still prefer Macs. And it's like, like Apple really has done a great job. I guess y'all could even argue brainwashing some of them just to thinking like, it's like, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
And I mean,
all my poorest friends are obsessed with Apple.
I don't know why though, either. Like, because, I mean, again, Apple does a few things a bit differently, and I'll even argue sometimes better. I will just say also that they do have that tax attached to it. For tablets, I still think iPads look better. As far as tablets, they look better than the Samsung tablet. I'll say that much fucking right now. Like, my sister had bought her iPad like when she was over here for a while, and like looking at it and everything, I'm just like, damn, that looks like aesthetic wise. Like, Apple has always nailed aesthetic. Like, bar none, their shit always looks real clean, sleek, and modern. It's always what they were going for ever since the beginning, from Steve Jobs to now. And I like how it looks, yeah, but at the same time, like, I can't play games on that shit, so, like, I don't fucking buy it, and not to mention...
Oh, you can play TF2, what are you talking about? You can...
a lot of the games that I play, though, like, they literally they straight up say, like, we don't fuck with Mac, I'm sorry. You're gonna have...
No, dude, it's like...
And the ports also, they take a while for them to hop over to Mac, because it's like... Let's say the game comes out for Windows,
they refuse to use, like, Type-Cs? Don't they have, like, a specific charging cable?
Yeah.
That's so
well, no,
whack.
they switched over, I think, to Thunderbolt, which, I mean...
That's what I'm saying. Like, that,
yeah.
the other...
I think the newer ones, they do have it, but it's like, when they were thinking about putting it in, before they, like, basically just made it, like, mainstream for all their systems, before that, they were, like, kind of tossing around the idea, and they kind of just left it as an option, but it's like, for Apple's idea of options, it's, you can get that, you just need to buy it. Like, you need to pay $40 for this fucking dongle.
All
and stroke
the poorest people.
And stroke Steve Jobs' corpse of a cock to, like, they fucking get it.
Maybe there's, like, some company conspiracy where if they get enough people to do that, he'll come to life. Like Frosty the Snowman.
Would you really want him back, though?
Steve Jobs, CEO, was the greatest CEO.
Like, he's probably gonna talk about how, like, you know, like...
When he went downtown and he wore his crown saying, I'm the biggest fool.
Like, he's probably gonna say, like, I never died. So what are you talking about? He's, like, he just seems like that kind of person that would, like, the earth could explode in front of him. It's like, I'm gone. What are you talking
Technically,
about?
Steve Jobs got a PC.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, half the stuff about Apple was stolen.
It wasn't like, you know, the PC that we're all used to. Instead of, you know, portable computer, it was pancreatic cancer. Oh, too soon? Really? Too soon, all of you? In the comments talking about Steve Jobs, motherfucker? Oh, like, what is it, Abe Lincoln? He got shot in the head too soon, bro. Oh,
over
my God.
the years, though, his reputation's kind of been nuanced, and it's... Like, I don't know, like, extensively about him. I know there's some people that are obsessed with this guy's life, but it's like, from a glance, it seemed as if, like, ever since before he had died, and then a couple years afterwards, like, because he had that book that came out, you know, about him, and then, like, his whole life, and then
they
there was
pushed
all
that book in my high school where we all used Max there.
Ugh, I hate that shit. Going on, like, plus they even had the movies that came out about him. They had Michael Fassbender.
Ashton Kutcher? Oh, it was Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, there was two movies about him. I think Ashton Kutcher was when he was like... That movie took place when he was like real young. And then Michael Fassbender was basically when he was the CEO of Apple. And basically was, you know... that was like the kind of moment in his life that everyone kind of knew him for. No one really... Oh, yeah, go on.
They got Seth Rogen to play Steve Wozniak. Yeah! Acknowledge the Apple II team.
He was actually pretty good though. Like, no cap, he did a pretty good job in that
He's
role.
a good actor when he's sober. That's the thing. He's a good actor when he's
Facts,
sober, but now he just goes on Twitter. He's just like, "Hey guys, if you live in California, you can buy my weed now." Like, that's weed is actually that man's life. Like, straight up.
Him and also James Franco. Like,
yeah, but I don't think James Franco, not as much, dude. Like, Rogan, like, his fucking whole ass personality.
I mean, even before too. Like, that was his whole shtick. Like, he was just a funny, fat, high weed guy. Like, everyone just kind of knew him.
Movies too, man. Pineapple Express. I think that's easily one of Seth Rogen's best movies. Easily, that movie's fucking hilarious.
And if you want to see, like, kind of delve into like what kind of person he is, like, hey, there you go. Like, these are the kind of roles that he likes. He likes roles where he could be actively high on set forever until the job's done. And but again,
it says that right there in the contract.
His agent like literally makes it very clear, like, this man gets to be high every fucking minute until this project is done. Comprende? Okay, good. We got a deal. Seth, go out back. We're gonna go get some fucking we're gonna fuck some bitches and smoke some. I like to imagine his agent's kind of like that guy. Like, he's just like, we're gonna fuck some bitches and get some weed. We're gonna smoke that shit until we die, bro. Like, let's go.
I doubt Seth Rogen is that unwholesome. This guy's got a wife.
Oh yeah, obviously. I just wanted to fuck her out because like
Probably
Seth
still
Rogen
smokes
like,
behind the Denny's, but like,
oh yeah, fucking, I bet he like
behind the
probably will
Denny's.
give his kids like some weed and shit.
yeah, that's a whole
Another,
I don't even want to have that discussion, but it's Apple.
Yeah, like going back to I guess Apple for a minute. It's I don't know, like Steve Jobs, like going back to I guess Steve Jobs in particular, like his reputation and I guess like the way that people kind of see him nowadays. It's like back in the day, like everyone did praise him like for a lot of the shit that he did. Like I mean, the movie that Michael Fassbender and Seth Rogen play in, the end of the movie is about I think when the iMac first gets aired, like that's where it ends, and like after that, like we got more shit like the iPhone, which I mean, when it came out, I honestly thought like, oh shit, this is actually fucking like this is insane. Like you know, an iPod Touch,
yeah,
with a phone, like
it was pretty revolutionary.
It was the shit was pretty like it couldn't receive shit though. That was the thing. Like the first model, I think I heard. Like again, for all you Apple
Before
historians
you could even
out
have
there,
a background on your phone, man. That's how old this shit was. Just that black background, straight up. Oh, those were the days. That was before the world went to shit, man. Oh man.
And you know, and then after that, we got the iPad. And then after that, we just got more shit.
iPad got reamed on, dude, and that thing was new. They're like, why would you want something that big?
And yet everyone's starting to buy them now, so it's like clearly they did something right. Like that's the thing about Apple that you can't really take away from them. It's like, yeah, everyone kind of made fun of them for a lot of this, like I guess from a glance, really retarded business decisions and design choices that they made. But really, if you fast forward it now with hindsight, it's like they made the right call, really. I've even seen fucking goobers like thing going around like in like some places like that are heavy in tourism. Like literally, instead of having their phone, they whip out their fucking iPad and take pictures. It's like, yo, you're in Maryland and in Baltimore, bro. Like these kids can just swipe your fucking iPad and you'll be fucked without one. Like, and it's like it's already dangerous sometimes. Like kind of going to places that you've never been to before with a phone and like taking pictures. Because, like, you never know, like, what the city's like, you know?
Make a little swiped up real quick.
Yeah, like, you know, because, like...
That's not not in the Tinder sense.
Any new city you go to, like, there's, like, you don't know the neighborhood. And everyone kind of knows what a tourist looks like. I fucking go to New York a couple times, and I know who the tourists are, like, from a glance.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of knows, but...
So do they, yeah.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, though, with Jersey, it's like, we don't get tourists. No one comes to Jersey. No one's, like... coming over from fucking Norway and it's like, oh yeah, like I want to go to New Jersey. Like, it's like
they do for NJ Pack, or at least celebrities do, I guess. For that place, which is funny because it's in such a, yeah, I wasn't thinking. I don't know why I confuse celebrities.
Like no one's gonna be like, yo, I want to go to Patterson for fucking vacation.
You think you know a city, man, and then all of a sudden it recommends you fucking milfthis.com. milftacular.com and says it's a good website, and then it just fishes your fucking email, and it's,
hey, you want to go to a great New Jersey vacation spot? Go to Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Hey,
you're gonna fucking love it.
You want to go to the hottest spot in all of New Jersey, the greatest, swingiest nightclubs? Well, does Patterson have the right spots for you? It's
Camden's got all the hottest singles in the area.
Oh, Lord.
I still love
it's got hookers, so you can fucking...
For $5 a piece and a blowjob? Fuck. Like, you know, it's like, that's $5 well spent. Just make sure to wash your dick afterwards.
Definitely worth the medical bills that are way more than $5 afterwards. But to tell you something, Dennis.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can I just say something that Dave,
of course.
That Dane said that I will quote to the day I die, because it was the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Say everything you want to say, my friend. Keep going.
We were driving, us and a couple of friends, and we were nearby Camden. It was like we were literally passing the exit that was like that was meant to go into it. We passed it, and Dane was like, yo, if I throw a coin in there, it'll stimulate their economy.
Oh. Oh, boy. Damn. I don't know.
Like, he literally had, like, I don't know if he did have a quarter in hand, but it's like literally just flip a quarter into the town, and it's like, there you go.
Censored.
Economy stimulated. I mean, we all know, if you guys I've ever been down to like Central or South Jersey, and if I've ever passed like that sort of area, like nearby like Pennsylvania and shit, like everyone kind of knows what kind of area Camden is. It's not exactly the most savoriest fucking neighborhood in sweet Sunshine, New Jersey. It's definitely not child friendly, to say the least. And for all y'all who do live there and say, hey, yo, man, it's not that bad. That's what all you motherfuckers who live in towns like that all say. Even people from the Bronx who live on the shittier side of it. They know for a fact that their fucking neighborhood is shit. Like, they all know that I could get stabbed in the middle of the night just for walking out my door. God forbid, even shot, perhaps. And Bronx has kind of at least gotten a little better with, like, I think the gentrification has definitely kind of helped a little bit. It depends on which area you go to, sure. But it's like there are more parts of the Bronx that are a bit more safer than there used to be years ago. Because it's kind of like the same thing that happened with Brooklyn, and that white girls took it over. And
Brooklyn's
now
the gentrified one.
Yeah, like it's like that experiment, you know?
That area is a freaking like little socialist like paradise. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's still like clearly in spots poor enough to like warrant that kind of community, because some of those like poor like income neighborhoods can have really soulful people. You know, it's not fair to stereotype them, but holy fuck, Brooklyn, no, fuck that. They have building. I was there, like, when I was working with Rise, representing them at a food bazaar, and I would drive by, and like straight up, like first of all, the roads like feel like so incomplete. There's something like a little collegey about it. Okay. And they have like these brand new looking buildings, very simple looking, chic in their design, brand new like apartments, tiny like dorm size spaces, on top of buildings that look like fucking crack dens. Like, it's nuts. When you like, the gentrification isn't even subtle in that place. Bronx, however, 2 years ago I was there for what I was representing Nintendo at the Best Buy there. And
this was the lady that got you sick, right?
Yeah, that was the lady who, I swear to God, I think gave me COVID before we knew COVID was in America. I'm serious. No,
I do think so. I stand by you.
I literally think I had COVID, like, straight up, because, like, I had coughing fits, dry coughing fits that lasted for minutes upon minutes on end, and I've never had that as long as I lived. But, yeah, no, it didn't seem gentrified where I went. Just very loud, very New Yorky people, somebody shitting in a bucket, and
and that's the thing, though, too,
all
with
that
New
kind
York.
of stuff.
Like, people think, like, a lot of those gentrified areas are, like, the true New York. It's like, no. The true New York is people yelling at you to move the fuck out of the way. Like, yeah. I don't personally... I think that it was one comedian that I remember listening to. He's, like, a funny, kind of buff-looking Italian dude, and I love him. I forgot what his name was, but what he was talking about was, like, he's been to Brooklyn, and he's just, like... He trashed that, like, that whole part of it, like, the real, like, white, like, you know, hippy dippy fucking hipstery sort of side of Brooklyn, like I like Williamsburg and those kind of places. Like, he ripped it apart because he was like, it's the kind of place that back then it's like, yo, where can I go to, like, you know, buy crack or marijuana? It's like, now it's like, yo, where's the best acai bowl like place? You couldn't even
walk through Bed-Stuy in the 80s. You literally couldn't even walk through there, dude. That place was so fucking bad.
Yeah, and it was scary.
I say that because I know that, because as a white guy who watched Everybody Hates Chris, we all know that because of Chris Rock, so thank you.
If there was one thing that at least that show got right, it was definitely showing that, because this was way before, like, Brooklyn was kind of seen as, like, the sort of white girl haven that it is today, kind of, but it's like, before, yeah, as David said, like, you know, and I've only been to it a couple times, and I've went to school in Flatbush, and that place is still pretty trashed. Sorry for all you people who live out in Flatbush, but, like, I went to school over there, and, like, I've been to Flatbush many times, and I kind of went around it, and all your guys' fucking buildings look as if they're about to cave in on itself, and even the places nearby the subway, like, every time I looked past it, it was just like, that building looks as if it's gonna literally collapse, 9/11 style, like, any second now. Like, that's how I always thought about it. And, like, it was so weird because outside of my college campus, it was, like, just pretty shit. Like, the college campus was arguably the nicest part of that entire neighborhood, which, I mean, kind of goes without saying for any college campus, like, you know, obviously. But that's also another thing too that I'm kind of worried about with, like, kind of gentrification, because it's like, I don't want people who will come into New York think that, like, it's like, oh yeah, it's so nice. Like, New York is not meant to be a nice place, in my opinion. Like, overly nice is what I mean. like, I think the charm about New York is that it's full of people that literally will tell you to go fuck yourself, and you could honestly say it back to them, and there will be no blood loss between the two of you. Because that's like everyone kind of has the same attitude. Like I'm talking about like the true blue New Yorkers, like almost the borderline like Italians that used to still live there. Like literally, you can just go around town, and if you like something happened, like I remember there's one scene, I forgot where it was in a movie, but like some guy was walking, right? You know, it's the guy like, I'm walking here, like that guy.
Do you
like you don't see that anymore? I think the De Niro movie, like Taxi Cab, I think.
Yeah.
I think I think it might have been. Yeah.
Do you think that New York City is what Hitler was afraid of?
Elaborate.
When he got up on that there podium and he's just like, Blackens nein Juten, or whatever, saying they couldn't fuck or whatever or live around the same areas. New York is one of the biggest melting pots in the world. It might be the biggest in terms of like, you know, the people that live there. So many different ethnicities and races.
Yeah.
And you always have these ratchet ass videos that come out of there. Like I wasn't kidding about the bucket thing. I watched a video that just got retweeted on like my Twitter feed recently of like just in the subway hall, like the janitor's just cleaning, and then a homeless guy comes up and like takes his pants off, starts shitting in his bucket, starts fighting the guy, and then gets back down to like take his pants off again and is just shitting his fucking brains out in the guy's like janitorial bucket. Like, while all these people are just around, like, watching, and the guy's hands are in his head, bro, I would have quit that day. Day, I would have quit.
I would have too, yeah.
That stuff kind of happens. It's a big place, big melting pot, but I don't know. Was that what Hitler was afraid of? You know, people shitting in our janitor buckets? He's like, I told you. I told you this would happen. But no, nobody listens to Hitler.
See, like Albert's. I think I do remember there was something that I read where one of the German diplomats around, I think this was before the war started, basically had visited New York, and like he reported back to what he saw. Like I don't think New York specifically, but he went around like the East Coast specifically, and like he went back and reported to Hitler. It's like, hey, these people are fucking like retarded. Like we'll have their ass, like basically, like if we invade them, like because basically America by that time didn't have no great military.
No.
They were probably the most demilitarized fucking nation next to, I think, maybe. I actually don't kind of compare to that. I think they were like the most demilitarized fucking nation before 1942 and Pearl Harbor happened. And like they basically were like, yo, we got these motherfuckers if we like basically attack. And Hitler was basically reassured that, you know, like they're like one thing that they specifically reported back on was like their culture, and it was like there's so many like the one thing that kind of stood out to Hitler was that like their racial problems like were still like very big even around the 30s and 40s, and Hitler took note of that and basically figured like, you know, like they're because, you know, like how big Hitler was big on eugenics, and like he was always like kind of going about like how like, oh, like the German ancestry, like Aryan race, all that shit, like thing, basically saying like you got to keep the bloodlines pure and all that.
Your best.
Yeah, and you know, New York, especially even by the 30s and 40s, was pretty fucking diverse when it came to like ethnic groups and even minorities and nationalities. Like there was a whole fuck ton of them down there. Like started from the 1910s essentially, and then just got more and more people like then coming through there. Italians, Poles, Irish, Germans, freaking Russian Jews, like all these guys were all just like coming in. And of course, next to, I guess, Europe, America was basically the Jewish capital of the fucking world by that point. And like there was a big diaspora of them like down there, and like it just continued to grow as like the fucking decades went on. And Hitler was kind of like basically saying like, oh, essentially we got them because they have a lot of Jews, so we like, don't worry, we will defeat them. And but the thing is, again, how you gonna invade a nation that's literally a fucking ocean away? Like,
yeah,
like the United States literally like was that one player who is in Monopoly who just sits back and lets everyone kill each other. And he just swoops in afterwards and just goes like, all right, I'm going to win this shit because all you guys basically killed yourselves, and I'm going to just basically take this game.
It's only slightly different now, basically, but like it still kind of does similar things to that. Normally nowadays it's just the CIA will overthrow some democratically elected government somewhere, or seize your bananas, and occasionally actually kill someone who needs to be killed, who is a legitimate threat to the free world. But you know what? It's a mixed bag. But I think pretty much everybody knows that America's done some pretty weird mixed bag, some shit at this point. But yeah, let me ask you something.
I never got to my question.
Yeah, you want to ask that first? Go ahead. I was thinking it too, like when you went on one of your patented dentist history lessons.
It wasn't really a history lesson. It was just kind of
you were talking about Apple, and then you like perfectly segued it into like fucking New Yorkers and gentrification somehow, and then you went off about the history of New York and World War II. About it always goes back to World War II with you. Is there something you're not telling us, Dennis? Is there like a little fetish you got going on there?
I have a whole book.
Get your rocks off to World War II documentaries.
It depends, because the more modern ones now, like, I really don't like how they look. And I kind of even barely like the ones from back in the day either. Like, because it's just like the fucking, like the way the production and everything of how they made it was just like, and then Patton went across the Seine River and attacked the Germans. And it just shows like that fucking old like British path like videos, like the black and white like tanks rolling in and everything. It's just and I'm just like, I feel like Hitler in the bunker. I just want to kill myself. Like, oh my God. Like, I want to take that cyanide and shoot myself. And it's like, I love this history, but it's just like the documentaries are so fucking boring. And
yeah, there was one on Netflix that the Netflix was really pushing for a while. It was like World War II in living color or something like that. And it was a lot of like very restored footage. Like it looked like really vibrant and shit. So I never watched that, but I saved it because that actually looked pretty interesting.
dope, yeah.
Fuck, I'm becoming my dad. That's not good, but
I
two dicks. Is that what you were going off on?
Yes. What if Hitler had to?
Then I think the man would have bit off even more than he could chew, because he probably would have felt pretty ballsy, and I don't think the war would have lasted as long. Seriously, who knows if the war would have even started? The man was clearly a shrimp dick. There was nothing going on down there. You don't feel the need to conquer whole nations and have that much hatred in your heart and perpetuate war crimes to the highest degree, the likes of which the world has never fucking seen before. If you have a fucking giant little apple-sized dong. It's not the same. Like, if Hitler had like a tiny... If Hitler had a big dick... if Hitler had a big dick, the world would not look the way it does today. Because World War II probably wouldn't have happened. I don't think that shit would have gone down the way it did. I think Germany would have continued to be the poor shit fucking war-torn land that it was after World War I. And this guy would just be walking around and plowing hot homeless bitches. That's what he would have done. Straight up. Would have still had a shit childhood. I bet some things would have happened. He probably still would have hated Jews, but probably not to the degree that he did. Like, let's be real. Like, his mustache was probably the same size as the man's German sausage, as they say.
His Schnitzel Junior.
As his Schnitzel Junior.
But okay, but real talk though. If you had two dicks,
I really wanted to say like I really wanted to say like in German the dicks of the Jews are small in a Hitler voice, but I don't know the German word for small. I knew like everything else. I think, but
das Schnitzel der Juden is.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I was gonna do it, but I could be like das Schnitzel or Juden ist. Wait.
It's like that body double that like Hitler has that this guy's auditioning for. It's like it doesn't even speak German. It's like, go on, say it. It's like I just fucking learned German from Rosetta Stone like 2 minutes ago. Like the fuck? Like you trying to get me to form full sentences? It's
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone. I mean, to be fair, for body doubles, for like, I always thought that whole concept because I saw it once in a movie.
Worked for Castro. It worked for Castro, dude.
Right.
Like Castro.
I did not know that.
I'm actually gonna Google it right now because the number is ridiculous.
He had like many body doubles, didn't he?
On Castro. Yeah, no, not even just many body doubles. 638 times.
And that's like, I guess, documented, right? Because I'm pretty sure there were more unofficial ones.
Literally just a documented one. The CIA, I think, once tried to get him with a fucking exploding cigar. And I think they killed one of his doubles doing that.
Yo, if I was part of the CIA, I'd probably would just be like, you know, it's like, I know what our mission is to kill this guy.
How the fuck didn't we kill this guy?
Yeah, it's like, I'd also just kind of be like, it's like, yo, we kill, like, Latin Americans, like it's fucking breakfast out here. But apparently, like, this guy, like, he just fucking is too good for us. Like,
Too good.
I mean, you know, Bay of Pigs was a whole outlier. You know, this is not exactly the most well-planned invasion in America's history. But at the same time, it's like, past that, like, this guy toppled a regime that was in place for decades by that point. This guy went on to becoming arguably, I think, one of the most successful communist leaders in history. I still think he's even just a bit more successful than the Soviets because this guy still fucking went on. Like, you know, like after.
You're telling me a Fidel'd this Castro?
What?
You heard what I said.
What? Wait, hold on. What the fuck are you talking about?
You heard what I fucking said. I said, you're telling me a Fidel'd this Castro?
Yeah, sure.
Wow, I wouldn't have thunk it. Wow,
I mean,
Dennis, you make history come alive. Can you reenact it for me with sock puppets?
I just needed like a fucking sock with a green hat and a big scraggly beard, and it's like, this is Fidel. Be my Fidel. And this is his friend. What the fuck? His brother's name was Raul, right?
Yeah.
And this is mi hermano Raul.
Hello there, I'm Bautista. And then he like just goes to the audience like, I work for the America.
I exploited my country to another nation.
Like a sock puppet show for kids, but it's about it's about the fucking Cuban Revolution.
You know, I think even going on to like Godfather 2.
I'm Sam, and I'm Max. We're the freelance police. And oh no, here comes the Raxos, Lord of Darkness. Let's lay a beating on him. I'll get the tools. Surely there's more to your occupation than just senseless violence on criminals. No, that's pretty much it.
That's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Like,
The world
Godfather
would be
2,
a better place if Sam and Max policed it. I'm just saying. Yes, go on. What are we talking about?
Every time I always bring up the Cuban Revolution, I always think back to that one scene with in Godfather 2 where Michael and Fredo and everyone was there. Like, because I think the revolution, or at least the revolutionaries, basically entered Havana on New Year's Day, I believe. Like, it was basically like, I think a little bit before or after, and you know, we see that whole scene with Batista and his staff, and like they're all basically saying like, yo, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, we need a dip because we're about to get fucked. And it's like everyone just panics and like everyone's just trying to like evacuate and get the fuck out of there. And like you see like people in the streets like smashing basically the car, like the meters outside, like just like fucking pandemonium and chaos. Like, you know, it's that also a great scene where Michael like gives Fredo the kiss of death and like basically tells him like, you know, I know it was you, Fredo. I fucking love that. I just love talking about Godfather in general. But like that whole scene,
You broke my heart.
you broke my heart, Fredo.
Broke my heart, Fredo.
I know it was you, Fredo.
Imagine knowing you have to kill your own brother, bro. Ugh.
I love how some people like
Just
kind of
too many cocktail waitresses.
2 at a time.
Two at a
bro.
time.
2 at a time, bro. But I still love how
Pisses me
people
off
say-
that someone like Fredo is able to get like 2 cocktail waitresses at a time. I'm like, I'm way better looking than that fucking.
He had the
Chalupa.
name.
Yeah, that's it. That's how it
Corleone.
goes. Corleone.
Yeah, it's like you say, oh, I'm a Chunga River, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's facts.
It's like,
I
hey,
have
you
to
know.
try, man. Stupid.
You know, to be fair, like, I still think out of the brothers, Michael was definitely like, I guess it's also because like young Al Pacino, like, I wouldn't have gone gay for him, but I would have at least definitely said like, that's one handsome motherfucker.
Yeah,
like-
no, he's better looking than the rest of them.
Yeah,
I'll give you
And
that.
I forgot Fredo's voice act. Fucking his
What was it, like a dub or something? Like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
fucking Goldfinger just couldn't understand a word he said, so he had to dub like literally all of his lines.
like Darth Vader too. They actually like had like a real skinny.
You don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Morgan like that.
Like, is that what he sounded like in the film? So they had to dub him? Like, oh, fuck.
I'm smart and I want respect.
Hi there, I'm Michael Corleone. I'm the Godfather. Uh-oh, and here comes the Tattaglia family.
Oh, I really want to watch Godfather now. Fuck, like
Drug dealers.
cocaine.
Let's lay a beating on them.
Just fucking wipes out the 5 families.
Oh, fucking A, man. Oh,
wanna
just turn everything into a fucking sock puppet show. That'll make life so much more entertaining. I'll sit fucking crisscrossing a pretzel to learn about, like, you know, World War II or the building of the Panama Canal or, you know, the insurrection of the United States or many CIA raids and the dark shit that they've done in the past. I think history would come alive. You know, Dennis, let's do it, me and you. I think history would come alive if you and I went to our local libraries and said we could do sock puppet shows for the kids, but they don't know. They think we're just going to be reading, like, children's books, right? They think we're going to come in and, like, reenact shit from the Cat in the Hat, and then we get, like, the cardboard box all set up and propped. And we're just talking about fucking genocide.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, hello, kids, we're gonna talk about the Armenian genocide.
I'm your local Armenian farmer.
And I'm a Turkish soldier. And he's like holding a fucking rifle to it. Like,
oh, we got like a soundboard, like with sound effects.
The fucking Armenian farmer's like, what are you doing with that rifle, Turkish soldier? But the thing is, though, the Armenian genocide, believe it or not, was not the source of death. Was not really per se through bullets. It was basically through the death marches that the Armenians had to do. Like, people like to think that, you know, obviously the Turkish just went around, like, you know, massacring villages and shit. But the thing was, a lot of
I
it
don't
was just
care.
like,
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
well, you see, kids, they didn't really shoot them. They just rounded them up and didn't feed them as they marched them south, and they all just kind of died on the march. It's like the death marches that the Americans had with the Japanese.
Oh,
like,
fucking
we had that shit too. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, if you want to talk about fucked up shit in a modern era, it's definitely the Japanese in World War II. Holy fuck. Like, I still get hung
I'm your
up
average
on that.
Japanese soldier, and I'm an American Marine. I'm dead. I'm gonna cut off his penis and put it in his mouth. Like so.
And we have like a little like attached like fucking dick on like the soldier. And like the fucking librarian comes up, she's like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here. Just kick us out in the middle of the show.
We're gonna talk about the rape of Nanking. And it's like the librarian's just like, get the fuck out of here.
Bro, I'm definitely down for like grotesque like fucking sock puppet shows of history, bro. I'm down for that, dude. That sounds like funny as fuck.
Some morbid Muppets about history.
Like, I'm not even talking like Avenue Q, like sex or anything. I'm talking like history lessons. I'll be like, what is this history? We're teaching the kids. What the fuck do you want?
It's like, hola, estudiantes, mi conquistadore.
Well, time to rape.
Time to enslave. Oh my god. Yo, I love how it's still crazy to me that, like, you know, I know, like, for the American consciousness, like, slavery, when we think about it, we think of like the Confederacy, like the Deep South, all that shit. But it's like, yo, when you see how much slaves that Spanish had down in Latin America, it's some fucking ridiculous shit.
Transferred them like over too. They were very much part of the trade. They'd be like,
Hello there. My name.
what was the fucking what was the slave from Amistad? What was his name?
I can't remember.
Hold up, I'm gonna look up Amistad and Amistad IMDb, and it'll bring up his name. There you go, full cast and crew. Come on, load up for me, please. Kincaid. Kincaid was his name.
Kincaid.
Kincaid was his name. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right.
Hi, I'm Kincaid. And we're all of Kincaid's friends. I'll get the rope.
They fucking throw the bag over him, like trade him in and everything.
We're doing the slave trade. Off to the Amistad.
It's like, hola, yo soy Hernan Cortez. I'm here to take over the Aztec Empire. And I'm gonna enslave the fuck out of you and give you sick blankets for all you die from smallpox.
Dude, you see what I mean? The possibilities are fucking endless.
Oh, God.
Hi there, I'm Andrew Jackson, and we're the Native Americans. Let's go on the Trail of Tears.
Well, we also just gotta make, like, I almost feel as if, like, we could, if someone ever, like, decided to, like, just do a YouTube channel about this, like, you just gotta put straight up, like, this is just straight up satire. Like, don't fucking take your facts straight up
I will
from
put
this.
a
Like,
I will put a trigger warning on screen for literally like 0.25 of a second. Like just so quick that you just like feel like you have to pause real quick to see it, and then you just go in. They think it's like a childlike history. I want to filthy frank the shit out of this dude. Like I want to like be like, oh, like beautiful rendition of "Let It Go" on ukulele, and then like just have the.
we're gonna talk about the
It
Holocaust.
hurts so much, I want to die, but I do it for Olaf.
Let it go.
It's just like
Let
as
it
you
go.
as this playing, it's just like the fucking
Let it go in my ass. Let
like
it
the
go.
it's like the Holocaust, like fucking B-roll, like just like playing in the playing as the songs playing in the background. It's just like got Dachau and all like the terrible fucking shots. It's like Auschwitz, you know, like how in the okay, I'm not gonna make light of Auschwitz, but it's like, you know how on the side it's like Auschwitz. It's like, I think basically there was like a quote underneath that was like, hard work leads to freedom or some shit like that.
Oh,
and it's
God,
like as you're about to hit like the and now they know, it just zooms in on that.
Oh my fucking God.
Hi there, I'm Hitler, and I'm Eva. Oh boy, here come the Russians.
Oh,
There's a lot of them.
I didn't get into art school and I'm angry. I'm gonna take over a country and manipulate it in a way where it's gonna target a minority group and wipe them out from the face of the earth.
Dad, will you,
Oh,
you want
my
to take a
Lord.
look at? You want to
Oh.
take a look at my painting?
Oh,
Go ask your mother.
And guys, again, like, we're not making light of all the shit that happened during World War II. But honest to God, if a fucking show like Drunk History could take off, why not this one?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like you and I, we could do like the fucking Potter Puppet Pals of history. We could, think about it. We could
Oh, those puppets would cost a lot of money though.
for like the Potter Puppet Pals. I mean, I imagine if we like
But-
had someone make them or we make them ourselves, then we'd like just be like fucking be pretty easy. I don't think Neil Cicerega or whoever it was who made the Potter Puppet Pals bought those puppets. I'm pretty sure they made them.
Wait, David.
What's up? What's
I need
up?
to piss.
What's up? You good? You gotta go piss?
I need a piss.
All
Give
right.
me 1 second.
I'm just gonna pause the episode here. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. Oh, it's so fucking immature. Oh, God.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go in my ass.
The
Let
Führer
it
has
go.
returned.
Let it go.
I'm 100% leaving that in. I'm 100% leaving that in, dude.
Did-
So fucking...
Did you?
Yes?
Did you?
You were fucking screaming. What did you think was gonna happen?
I kind of was. That pee was my lord. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone has felt that when it's like you've been holding in that pee either on a long car trip or it's just like you just can't go until like this very moment. And when you let out that pee, it's just like the greatest feeling in the world. I always talk about it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm almost like, I guess you could say horny for a good pee sometimes. Like,
Some people get so
Like-
horny for pee that they pee on their significant others.
that is true.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if they're consenting adults,
Oh, of course.
they're into it. Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want.
Reminds me of this video Germa made way back, not peeing on his significant other. He made a video called Punishment of the Pee way back in the day, where like his team lost. He was just playing TF2 making a video, and then he really had to piss, and he's just like, you know what? No, I'm not allowed to pee until we win a round.
Bruh.
And like he said he could feel it like in his neck, and he was still drinking iced coffee to the point where like when they eventually won, he didn't even like sign off the video or anything. He like threw his headset down. And like ran, and the reason I'm reminded of that is because the video ends with like very faintly in the distance you hear like, oh yeah. You can just fucking hear him like that. Oh.
I still remember there was one time before I got onto the bus for Port Authority to go home. I remember I was in the bathroom. I got off the subway and I just had like, as I was on the subway, I just had like the most powerful urge to pee. And as soon as the subway's doors open, I literally just sprinted out of the fucking door and I just ran to the nearest bathroom. And the nearest bathroom also turned out to be literally at the top floor of the fucking Port Authority. You know, like after you get out of the subway, you have to go ride the escalators upstairs to where the bus stations are.
And you're running that far to go to a Port Authority bathroom.
Yes. But at the same time, though, I understand what you're saying. Any bathroom at that moment would have... I would have pissed on the floor if it was acceptable. But, like, you know, I'm not going to do that. So, you know, me being the gentleman, I have to go to a fucking bathroom. Why is that not a thing? Like, why can't you just piss on the floor? Like, Port Authority is already, like, a shit stain of a bus station.
You literally can.
Yeah, but I get in trouble for it. It's like one thing if a homeless dude... Like, I clearly was not looking homeless. So it's like, if I piss on it, on the floor... I will be thrown into jail for public urination, but apparently a homeless dude is like, you know, it's like, whatever. Like, just get him the fuck out of here. Like, tell him to zip his pants up. Like,
here's
whatever.
the thing. He didn't look that homeless, but he was. He had, like, a shirt on. He had, like, sweatpants. But then again, yeah, he was also quite large. Probably the fattest homeless guy I've ever seen in my life, if I was being honest. Yeah, it was, that's...
No, but...
You know what, Dennis? That's racist. You're right. Why can't you pee on the fucking Port Authority floor? Let's talk about this for a second.
Wait, no. I'm not even finishing my story. Because I ran up the fucking stairs and went to the bathroom. I got into the stall because all the fucking, the Johns were basically taken. So I just went into the booth.
The Johns.
Like, I call them whatever the fuck I want. And I just went
I
inside.
just haven't heard someone call that in a long time.
Like,
go ahead.
And I took the piss. And I literally yelled out like, "Oh yeah!" Like, as I was in it. And here's the thing though too. And I completely forgot something. I had my headphones on the entire time, so I didn't even hear my voice.
Oh.
And then all you see after I open the door is like all these like varying degrees of guys like all look at me like with this look of disgust. Like,
Dennis,
it's like, the fuck is wrong with
you?
You
Couldn't feel like your fucking diaphragm or
your
neck
no,
yelling?
No. Here's the thing though. Like, nothing mattered to me. Like, I like that piss like was this close to just like being was this close to just exploding into my pants. So it's like, and I was just being honest with how I was feeling. Like, it was the greatest fucking feeling in the world. Like, you know, pissing a load of piss that's been in there for fucking hours. Like, because the subway was running a little late that day.
Yeah,
so
fuck the MTA. You know, fuck the L, of course.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And I walked out of that stall. And here's the thing though, I had the audacity, because I was gonna miss my bus. I just walked out of there. I think a lot of them were probably thinking like, "Oh, he's gonna wash his hands, right?" And I just walked out.
Oh no!
I was just like,
caused COVID.
This was years ago.
It was a delayed reaction.
The COVID took years to manifest in the United States.
It took years.
I left it in there.
Listen, Dennis is actually, no, I can't even say that because people will actually be upset if I do. I'm not gonna go there.
Wait, what?
You can take a guess at what I was gonna say.
What, that I'm patient zero?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. But it's
no,
like,
you don't. But then people would be upset that if I made that joke. Understandably so, because obviously Asian hate crimes have risen exponentially in the last couple years ago. I don't think that's something to fucking joke about.
David, let me reassure you. If you were ever taken away for an Asian hate crime, I would be like, this man is the most least racist person out here. I am the most racist person in this room, arguably. And I am Asian.
Instead.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I'm not stupid. But
What the fuck? I'd do that for you.
No. It's like, it's like, so release this guy.
Dennis.
Whatever his fucking bail is, I'll pay it. But this guy really racist. Like, have you seen his podcast? And it's like we show him one episode, and it's like for some reason, it's like I picked the episod that you were just a little teensy bit racist, and
Just a
it's
teensy bit racist.
It's like, all right, okay, no. That doesn't prove anything. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, sure, he said the N-word once, but it's like,
But where,
like-
where are we going here? Cancel
we
culture.
we censored it, so it don't exist. Like, that's how censorship works.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't
yeah.
prove shit. You can't prove that's what I said there. The original file, that shit is deleted. That shit's absolutely gone. You can't prove that I said shit.
Redacted.
I would suck
Redacted.
off, Dennis, I would suck off the judge for you. That's what it took.
David, that doesn't mean
Only if it was a woman.
That's the thing, though, too. Like, what if the woman is like, yo, you think there is like a hot woman judge out there?
No.
Right? Because, like, I always think, like, judges as, like, if I was going to be, if a girl was going to go into it, it's, like, always, no offense if there are any female judges ever going to be watching this episode, but it's like,
Hot lawyers.
yes, there are hot lawyers, but the thing is, though, like, a lot of lawyers don't also become judges.
By the time they're judges, they're just older in general. So, a lot of judges should be like in their 50s,
not older.
their 60s.
They're old.
Yeah.
They're, like, grandfathers and grandmothers by the time they become judges.
Oh, I don't know, man. Judge Judy, she gets me up in that little way. I don't even want to talk about those stupid shows. But
I think Judge Judy, as far as her show goes, I think she is at least, like, not going to go on about it too much, but, like, I think she is at least a very fair judge. As far as her show goes, yeah, it's very
well,
televised,
she's literally
obviously.
not. The thing is, though, here's the thing with those shows. Those are real cases.
Yeah.
The thing is that they sign on like actual people who are in these trials to like do this like mock trial of what happened in their case for the show, for Judge Judy to do her thing. She's not a judge. She is literally not a judge. She's not like somebody who has a background in law. She's like a fucking somebody they.
Oh,
prop
I've been
up
lied
do
to.
that. Yeah, no, she's literally not a judge. But the
fuck?
the cases are real, and then the studios pay to settle them. Not kidding. Like, they agree to go on the show for, like, a settlement for their cases that the companies pay for just so they can have an episode of the show for content. That's what those judge shows actually do. Yeah, if you think they're actual court cases, you might be retarded. You might want to get that checked
I guess
out.
I'm retarded then.
Yeah,
Look
you
at
might
me.
be. And
Holy shit.
to go off on our last little bit of retardation here, if we want to squeeze this in, Dennis, have you heard about the Nintendo Switch OLED?
Yes, I have, David.
Yeah.
And do you want my thoughts on it?
I want your THOTS, my friend. Yeah.
I mean, I predicted it.
Me too.
I predicted it.
Oh, that's
You
right.
got-
You did. You said it was going to
What
be
did I
underwhelming
fucking
a couple
say?
episodes ago, didn't you?
What? It was a bit of a while ago, but like, yeah, like I mean, this was even before that one episode. Remember how I basically went on about saying like, this is what like the new Switch is gonna be, because we all kind of predicted that there is gonna be a new one, and there were already rumors going around by that time. It got confirmed a couple days ago, essentially, that. David, take it away. What is it exactly? For everyone who's out of the loop.
It's basically a piece of toilet paper that's about $350, but really hard. You might think it's toilet paper because it's white this time instead of the console. Here's the thing, and I'll tell you this as a official Nintendo brand ambassador.
Got that shit on a card, ladies and gentlemen.
I do actually. Yeah, like you want to check it out. Like,
Fucking love that. Yes, making it official.
Maybe
All right, keep going.
I should start telling people about that. I should start telling women about that. Hey, like Nintendo likes me.
I work for Nintendo. I know Miyamoto. I suck his dick.
What's that? All right, goodbye, Felicia.
All right, you uncultured bitch. So, anyways,
Oh Lord. Anyway,
I think everyone should know what who Mario is.
I think most people do. I mean, he's literally the Mickey Mouse of gaming. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's like pretty universally recognized at this point.
But yeah, go on. Yeah.
To the point where you remember, like he was, it got fucked up because of COVID. But you got to remember, he was the mascot of the 2020 Olympic Games.
Oh,
Technically, or at the very least, they just used
Yeah,
Mario to
that's right.
advertise for it. He might have not been the official mascot. It might have been some anime character they had there that they
Japan had a couple there.
was their OC, but they used Mario
Yeah.
to advertise it. And he had like the Olympics logo or whatever on his hat. He was trying to find his way to Rio. or like from Rio or something like.
They had the
Oh no,
Olympic
it was for Rio. This was when the Olympics were happening in Rio, and they were announcing that the next one was going to be in Japan. I remember that.
Oh right, yeah. I
Yeah,
think they
yeah,
even
yeah.
had like Goku and whoever the fuck. Like not that I don't like Goku, but it's like I know they had a couple
Pikachu,
anime
they had
characters,
Pikachu
so, yeah.
in there, like Pikachu
To
like was
sponsor.
for FIFA, yeah. And so the
Which is
Nintendo
cool,
Switch,
you know.
yeah, no, it was really cool.
Yeah.
I wrote part of my paper about that, and I got a fucking D on it. So fuck you, Doctor. Dude, I almost like got my GPA down below to the point where I couldn't be in CMDA anymore because he graded me so poorly on that. I just wanted to write about Japan, all right? I had to pick a country. I picked Japan. So you know what? It was
Fuck
a good.
you.
It was a good paper. I wrote about Kappa Mikey, and anime. And I wrote a paper about weebs. It was fun. Well, it wasn't fun, but you know what I mean.
That deserves a whole fucking book on its own, though. I think one day someone's gonna make that. Like
There probably exist already books about weebs. I mean, I know every fucking like social justice warrior who has like a PhD who's tried to come into the Smash community to quote unquote fix it and then just wound up running away when they realize it's a fucking hopeless cause has definitely written those pieces on like those kinds of things. I mean, there's definitely stuff to be done there and stuff to be said because Smash has a distinctive lack of women compared to every other fucking fighting game and everything else, and there's reasons for that, trust me, but not going into that now.
Switch OLED.
Yeah, I was about to say Switch OLED. It is the new Nintendo Switch model to join the original Nintendo Switch and the Lite. It is the most expensive model. It has... I don't even know what to fucking say because, like, I was about to say, like, here are its new features, and it doesn't fucking have any. Basically, it's like the screen is bigger. 7 inches compared to like 6.
What do you fucking do?
7 inches compared to 6.3. It has like a wider stand, so it's better for tabletop
Bigger
mode.
internal storage.
It has, and they use this as, I think it has bigger storage actually, 64 gigs.
64, yeah.
Which I don't think is the amount that the base Switch has. The base Switch might have 32. It might have 64. I don't remember. Yeah, Google it real quick. And this was a selling point, my friend, to prove that Nintendo hardware has been behind the times for God knows how fucking long at this point, since the fucking N64 era. They were
32.
Yeah, that figured. That's garbage compared to most consoles.
For
But
base
then again,
storage,
Nintendo also knows how to compress their games. It's not like Call of Duty where like I just bought like Black Ops 4, as shitty as that game is, because it was on sale $20. Like 150 plus gigs. Like learn to compress your fucking games. Like they don't do that. Nintendo knows how to do that for sure, and on fucking cartridges no less. That's one thing that they do right, so you don't need that space as much. Nintendo has that shit on lock. Activision, fuck you. Like, please, like, learn how to compress a game file so I don't need to buy a new hard drive to play one game. Anyway, yeah, bigger screen, wider stance, so, like, you can use it, like, for, like, viewing and whatnot, and better for tabletop and handheld mode. And this was a selling point, mind you, to prove how far behind the times Nintendo is hardware-wise. It's a fucking selling point that it has a LAN port. That it has a fucking LAN port.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious. If you look at the trailer or look at the thread, it's like one of the new features is that it has a LAN port, which they removed the USB 3.0 slot to put in.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm not even kidding. They removed a USB slot so they could put a LAN port in. When there's like a $12 official Nintendo dongle that you can get to plug it in. If like if you're just a Smash player and you're upgrading, you're basically paying $350 for a fucking LAN port.
You're paying $50 more for that LAN port
Yes.
compared to the fucking base model. Like you're paying. That's like 8 Chipotles. Yeah, that's like 8 Chipotles.
Oh,
we
gotta start measuring. We gotta start measuring fucking prices and how many Chipotles there are. I'm 100% down to make that our thing.
Do you know, like, I've been doing that for so fucking long, and every time that I've said it to among my friends, they've always, like, at least just been like, oh my god, dude, like, shut the fuck. Like, here's the thing, like, they always tell me, like, oh my god, dude, stop. Because, like, they know how much, like, I'm kind of up and down with Chipotle, but it's like, but in terms of this, it's like, yo, like,
can I have 2010s Chipotle, please? Can't wait.
Shoots a laser onto a dish, and it's like, there you go, 2010 Chipotle.
Oh, Dennis, the carne asada burrito. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the news features. 64 gigs, though. 64 gigs, though, that is more space. That's double what the Switch has.
Yeah, but again,
it also
like,
has white Joy-Cons, which you can just get those
It's-
separately. I imagine is going to happen, and a bigger dock, which actually looks more sturdy. I kind of want to see if I can get the dock by itself. I would like that because I hate the
it does
Switch
look.
dock.
I actually do like how the dock looks.
And it will be compatible with the
Mm.
modern Switch model. You'll be able to use the normal Switch with the new docks. That'd be really
Mm.
fucking unbelievably stupid if you couldn't, because then like you just wouldn't be able to bring your Switch to your friend's house anymore, which would defeat the whole fucking purpose of the console, the portability of it. So you could just bring yours if you wanted to play on their TV. But here's the thing I'll say. When I was reading about this, I already know how I'm going to market it. You got to remember, come fall, it's my job to sell this thing. Literally my job. I sold more Switch Lites than you'd think. I'm a fucking adequately decent salesman.
I actually also like the Switch Lite too. But
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna get it because like I already have a
Exactly,
regular Switch.
exactly,
So you
but-
know, like it's gonna be another paperweight for me. But you know, I think as far as the shit that Nintendo's come out with, like the Switch Lite, I think truthfully is gonna be a bigger selling product than this one, just because like, you know, some people don't really need the docks. A lot of people actually don't really need it. Like
Really
people-
good for super casual
Yeah,
gamers, people who are always on
exactly.
the go. I recommended the Lite specifically to very small children. Like if they was like their first little system or whatnot, or like they're 5, potentially even younger, really. I tell them, yeah, no Joy-Cons. It's one base unit, so they're not gonna lose the Joy-Cons or break them or throw them around anywhere. It's like a little sturdier as a unit compared to the actual Switch. The buttons themselves are way softer, which is better for their little hands. It's like smaller, so they can hold it as well. And it's portable, and it's like designed smaller for portability, so they can carry it around wherever they go. Keep it completely internal if you want, so you don't even have to carry around the cartridges. It's better if you need to keep your kid distracted for a while, or if they're really, really small and they just shouldn't have a home console yet because it's too complicated for them or what they're doing. And I recommended it to people who are always on the go. Other than that, I always recommended the normal Switch because it's literally just the Switch with more features. It's $100 less, which is how the Switch Lite sells as well.
Yeah.
But also because doesn't come with the extra Joy-Con controllers, which are $80. So say if they want to play that thing with their friends, guess what? You're going to have to buy more Joy-Cons, which guess what? At that point, you basically paid $300 for a Switch with less features. So I always told them that. The regular Switch always sold more, but the Lite has its market. And believe it or not, so does the OLED. Trust me, because it's the same. It's the same resolution.
Everyone's gonna buy this anyways. I
Same
know that for a
resolution, which
fact.
is
Yeah, of
inexcusable,
course.
which is why I wanted to bring this up earlier, because it's like Nintendo's basically doing Apple now. They made their product a little bigger, new sleek white design, and there you go. Plus, they're big on mobile games now. And like that whole stuff. They're literally the Apple of game companies now, straight fucking up. I'm not even gonna lie, and I love Nintendo. The OLED though, perfect marketability for people who do not have Switches yet. If you don't have a Switch yet, that's the only real fucking excuse for why I can give you to buy this thing as well, because it is technically a slightly better Switch, bigger screen, bigger screen, LED, OLED screen instead of an LCD, which is better for screen burn-in and quality, despite the resolution being the same. Like I said, the sturdier dock, the LAN port, which has been on every fucking console since 2005. Holy shit, and I cannot believe Nintendo is just doing this now. Has removed a fucking, like, feature on it just so they could do that. Which is pretty much kind of a downgrade, especially for Smash players, but, you know, fuck Smash players.
In 2021!
In 2021, my friend. I told you, they're always behind in that department. Not even better screen resolution. I'm pretty sure it's still 720, like, on just handheld. But for people who don't have Switches yet, it's marketable. And other than that, just people who always need the latest Nintendo thing. Trust me, there'll be people who come in, and if the and the OLED is the only thing they'll have left, around Christmas shopping, still gonna sell like hotcakes, because people will get it. I sold, like, Switch Lites to people, and I told them, like, listen, this does have less features, are you sure? And they were like, sure, I'll still buy this. Like, just because they still wanted to get their kid a Switch, and if they didn't want to wait till Black Friday for whenever the Black Friday edition Switches were gonna come in, all that stuff. Trust me, it has its market, and as mad as some of you are at Nintendo, it's gonna sell. Get the fuck over it. It's still
y'all
gonna
are
sell.
still gonna buy it too. Like, I know, like, plenty of mouth breathers that are still gonna be eating this shit up, because, like, you know, anything that Nintendo's one of those companies where it's like anything new that they make, even if it is like not even that big of a deal, like whatever they make, it's like people are still gonna buy it.
Company could start selling dildos and they'd be completely fine.
Yeah, and like there'll be a market for it, because like. It still reminds me of, like, this is maybe a little bit off topic, but like the fucking, remember the Samsung girl and how everyone fucking basically sexualized the shit out of her? Like,
you're thinking of the AT&T girl. Oh no, you're thinking of the animated. I thought you were talking about I thought you were talking about Melina Vantrop.
No,
whatever her name was, the one, like, that's the AT&T girl who, like, nobody could stop talking about her tits. And like to the point where like she starts wearing like even like less revealing stuff on like the commercials. She has like a whole
Because she has to.
because she has to. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
She got objectified for no fucking reason. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the
Yeah.
new Samsung mascot
Well,
or logo or whatever.
Yeah,
the
it's supposed to be
virtual
like
girl.
virtual assistant that like basically like as soon as the image of her came out, everyone fucking just basically sexualized the shit out of her. And the way I'm gonna try to correlate it with kind of this is that it's like, you know, I don't know how much. I mean, I would love to look at fucking Samsung's books like after she came out just to see like how much it drove up sales. But like for Nintendo, like their market is not going anywhere. Because the thing is, and I've said it before, like, and I'm not a big Nintendo guy, but from a glance you could tell like they got their market by the balls. By the balls. There's nobody out there that could do what they do. Like the Switch is its own fucking thing. And David even mentioned before too, like where the other guys, Sony and even maybe not Microsoft too much, but Sony tried to compete with them on the handheld market, and they fucking lost. And I even still think the PSP is like arguably one of the greatest handheld systems in the world, in history, really. And just because of how much shit you could have done with it, and even if you basically jailbroke it and all the games you can download and all that. I have a jailbroken fucking PSP. And I'm also, but the thing is too, like when going to the Nintendo 3DS and even the DS, it's like, I'm scared of jailbreaking that thing. Like, it was real easy with the PSP because like I just had to fucking stick an SD card, like I had some homebrew on it, and then, okay, boom, there you go. Like it's done. And I could just download games whenever the fuck I want and just throw it in there. But like for 3DS, it's like Nintendo has basically like kind of turned it into a fortress as far as security goes, and it's like, you fuck this one thing up, then you're fucked.
You gotta remember as well, they released new editions of the fucking DS. There were like fucking 3 of those things before the 3DS came out. The DS Lite and then the DSi. Yeah, and I got all of those new ones. I was a very like lucky, privileged child, frankly spoiled a little, maybe. I hope that's not the case. I continue to work my shit out on a daily basis.
Exactly. You pay for your own shit now. You're an adult.
Well, now I do, obviously. But when I was a kid,
but when you're a kid, you're a kid though. It's one thing.
That's
it's like
the thing.
if you still get that now as a 27-year-old, like okay, you got a problem. Like, your parents love you a little too much there.
Same with the 3DS. There was the 3DS and then the 3DS XL, the new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Yeah, how many 3DSs have come out ever since? Like the first one, the XL, plus
and
like the
new
new
2DS. I forgot about the 2DS too.
I actually have
the fucking 2DS XL.
I actually have the new 2DS XL because I think my first 3DS had broke.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get a new one, but like I didn't want to fucking drop another like God knows how much money it was like on another XL.
Yeah.
So I was like, the thing is though, I also love the DS Lite. Like I think
the DS Lite was immaculate.
Yeah.
That thing was actually low key a revolution.
Design wise, fucking. It's like the
blew the original model out of the water.
Yeah, like it was just the equivalent of like a real hot chick, just small. Like,
sure.
If I want to break it,
her buttons are so much softer.
And I got the white version too. So like I had like the OG one for.
Yeah, the first model was the white one, I think. Before I think I have the black one. I think.
Yeah, I think they came out with a few other colors too.
They're not they weren't as durable though. Like my back, one of the like the little slots or whatever, like the hinges that when you hold it is broken, so like I can't like keep it up. But I kind of want to break it in half and just turn it into a Game Boy Advance.
Oh, like one of those, or even one of those like pocket Game Boys.
That's the thing. Like you break it in half, and I only have the bottom screen. It's still it's a GBA. I can still play it as a GBA. I just don't have the top screen anymore. And there are no speakers because I broke the speakers off. But the headphone jack is still there.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right.
So I can plug the fucking headphone jack in. I've been tempted to do it before. Like I've seen those videos where it's just like, "Hello, I'm going to teach you how to put Brawl." I'm going to teach you how to put Brawl on a PSP. And the guy literally just puts his PSP down and he takes a copy of Brawl, puts it on top of it, and he's like, and that's how you put Brawl on top of a PSP.
It's like, hello, my friends. My name is Raj Patel. I will teach you today how to jailbreak your iPhone. He just gets like a hammer and smashes his iPhone. And that's the video. And please like and subscribe to be...
Yeah, but Nintendo, this isn't a new thing. Like, Nintendo, Nintendo's so fucking scummy now. I cannot believe people continue to support They did this, like, fucking almost 20 years ago. with the DS, multiple models.
Yeah.
With the 3DS, multiple models.
People seem
with
to forget.
the Wii U launched with 2 models. The fucking cheap one was 8 gigs. Like 8 gigs of data. That's nothing.
You can't hold shit,
nothing.
basically.
Or 16, I don't remember. And then like the
You
deluxe
still
version.
can't hold shit
And then
in
the
it?
deluxe version was 32, which is like, oh wow. Amazing. It was ridiculous, bro. Though even the Wii eventually had different versions. There was the Wii Mini that came out in Canada.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was only a Canada thing, I think, or like North America. Like it had you couldn't play GameCube games on it because it had no GameCube ports. Very tiny thing. It was kind of cool looking actually. And it was in multiple colors. There was a red Wii, which I low key really want. I would love to buy a red Wii one day. Just homebrew that shit. I mean, my Wii already is homebrewed, but you know the drill. Yeah, and so they're doing it with the Switch now. Nintendo always does this. Where have you been?
Yeah.
Like, don't complain about this as if it's a new thing, man. And I'll tell you something else. Nintendo has always been outside, like compared to Xbox and fucking PlayStation. They compete with each other. Like you mentioned earlier, Dennis, Nintendo's in their own lane. They don't like release a console on the same year or whatever that, PlayStation and Xbox do. Last year, of course, I was in stores. I had people come up to me and they were just like, but PS5?
Oh, yeah.
Xbox, I'm like, you're not fucking getting one. I made this joke on the podcast before. Even the Switch was still selling out. And, which I'm looking forward to see how I'm supposed to organize the shelves now with another new Switch on the marketplace. Oh, fuck, this is going to be wild. What was I saying? Nintendo's always been in their own lane with that. And so they release the consoles on their own pace. And the reason I bring this up is because Nintendo's gone on record and saying the Switch is only halfway through its lifespan. They don't plan on stopping it anytime soon, really. Though they're still at minimum like 4 or 5 more years of this thing. So halfway through the console's lifespan, makes sense to release a new model. It's only going to be in 2 more years when they release the Switch Master Edition, where they finally fix the fucking Joy-Con drift for $400. There you go. And it's going to be a selling point.
Yeah.
Watch. And then people will still buy that. So it's not a new thing with Nintendo. It's Nintendo. They can afford to do whatever the fuck they want. They will bend over. They're like, we created this fucking industry, basically, or pulled it from the ashes. So
the way that Nintendo's
suck
also
my
with
lead
their...
luck to heaven nuts.
Like the way that Nintendo is like with their
you Americans have
customers.
such a big penis. Oh well, thank you. Shucks.
It's like Nintendo just like the way they are with their customers is like they just grab your head with both hands and just shove your face to where their cock is. And they know for a fact like you're gonna do your very best not to show teeth on that dick.
Ooh,
like
that's actually a pretty good analogy.
That's the way that they fuck you. And to be honest, this is how a lot of like even like game companies that outside of Nintendo as well, that's how they kind of get you. And I know it's not exactly the most prettiest fucking hold on for a second. My dad just came home, but I was just gonna say that it's kind of just how like all these companies are. Like, I mean, I guess for the PS5 and even the Xbox when it came out, the new ones I'm talking about, like the stuff that they came out with. Like again, I even compared to a lot of these consoles to to PCs. Consoles are never gonna catch up to where PCs are, realistically speaking. And also have
unless crypto slows it down so much and like we can't make new graphics cards for so fucking long.
Maybe, but I did hear that a lot of shit is starting to pick up now. There was like a whole bit of the news where like Chinese mining farms were just selling their fucking cards like from the farms like just wholesale, which I mean, so I guess is kind of an indicator of where things are going. But going back to at least like where consoles stand like in modern day and even into the future, again, they're not going to catch up to PCs anytime soon. Like PCs already starting to go into 8K. I don't think any console, realistically speaking, in the next 5-10 years is going to go into 8K and actually be like, and it's actually going to be like good.
That would be huge.
Even,
whatever first console does that.
Sure, but that's the thing though. Like, it's still insignificant because PC's already done it first.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, we're already on 8K now. Like when the fucking 30 series came out, like one of the main things that people were kind of doing, it's not really that stable. Let's just say that. Like when the 3090 came out, people were already starting to fucking play it on 8K TVs, and it was able to do it semi-decently.
Right.
It's like we still not there yet. Like, and 4K's, I guess, starting to become more mainstream, I guess, because like, I still hear like people just fucking raving that like I need to get a 4K monitor and play on 4K, but it's like, you know, I still play on 1080 and I don't give a shit. So it's like, you know, you do you, but like, and for Nintendo, I said like, I still think they're not gonna go past 1440 if they ever decide to up their resolution, whenever the fuck that may be, because they really don't have a reason to. And Nintendo, again, and I'll reiterate, same as my last argument from a couple episodes ago, like maybe a bit of a while ago now at this point, they don't need to fucking, I guess you could say, innovate that much. Because they know that their customers are going to eat this shit up regardless.
Nintendo, baby. You love us.
They're like that cable company from South Park that just rub their nipples. It's like, oh, wow, you want another portable console, but you can't go nowhere? Oh, that sucks. It's just rubbing his nipples.
I always thought that it was super optimal to own a Nintendo console and a high-end gaming PC. I think that's one of the most optimal gaming setups because I think that covers most bases, obviously, besides the exclusives that PlayStation has to offer and the exclusives that Xbox has to offer. Obviously, with Bethesda, maybe that'll put them back more on the market, but hey, I still think there's just no fucking reason to own an Xbox.
Xbox, the only thing that they got going for it right now is
Halo, right?
And Halo Infinite. And I mean, I know David's no big Halo guy, and I am, but it's literally the only thing that I will say, not everybody, but a good chunk of people who did buy the new Xboxes, they bought it for Halo. And it got held back till this year. So, I mean, Xbox is kind of in the shitter right now when it comes to the other. Out of the three, Xbox is losing. Like, they don't got anything new on their fucking shit. They don't got anything.
They haven't
compared
won
to Sony
since,
and Nintendo.
Like, the fucking Gen 6, right? With the Wii and the PS3. Weren't they beating the PS3 for a while? I mean, I remember the 360 was huge.
Oh, yeah, dude. They had, like, a massive cock. Now it's just shriveled up now at this point because it's like they don't got new games. And PS5's got, what, Final Fantasy 7? For fuck's sake. Like, think that is also, like... Because a lot of these game companies now that I've kind of been noticing has been, like, a lot of them are kind of, especially PlayStation and Sony, like, nostalgia is a big fucking thing that they're riding on nowadays. And Final Fantasy 7 Remake, when that shit came out, I was this close to getting it, really, because, like,
I was trying.
Like, I'm still waiting for it to get their PC port, because I know that 15 came out in PC, so I figured, hey, fuck it, maybe they'll probably do the same with 7 after they finish the whole thing, which I could wait. I'm fine with it. But it's like, Xbox don't got dick. And not to mention, Halo Infinite is even coming out not only for their console, but for PC. My crew. So, I didn't need a reason to get an Xbox. And truth be told, really, like, you know, Xbox is more of a service now than console. You know what I mean? Like, they got that whole Game Pass thing where, like, you could play anywhere you want and all that. I mean, like, and it's a good thing, sure, but it's like, that's what I mean when I say that I feel as if Xbox is more about services than the actual product, because almost everyone has a Windows 10 PC, and you can get all your shit and stream it to your computer and all that. So it's like, do you really even need a fucking Xbox? Truthfully speaking,
you know what else is on the Switch right now? You want to talk about that? Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8.
Remake?
No, not the remake.
Oh, okay.
No, the original Final Fantasy 8 and also even Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 9 as well. All them Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, I did know about that.
Yeah, they put those all on Switch like in one big old fell swoop. As well as I think Final Fantasy 10 and the HD remaster, and also I think 12. The Zodiac Age. Like, a lot of Final Fantasy games on there too if you're a big one of them fans. I mean, Nintendo and Square Enix relationship, it ain't that bad. I'm just gonna go out and say that. But yeah, man, I mean, it's interesting. The market's so interesting right now.
I could literally talk. Me and David, we could literally talk about this whole fucking episode too, just because like this is our fucking world, and like this is what I watch the news
and
for.
You're
sometimes.
all just living in it.
Yeah. And I mean, in conclusion, I still think, Switch OLED, what do I feel about it? Nothing really. because I'm not gonna get it, and not to mention like I think this is probably just a microscopic step forward for the console's like lifespan, because like I bet in that boardroom they were like, okay, we need a new thing for the Switch. What can we do? Can we get 1440p? It's like, no, we're not there yet. It's like, okay, can we get fucking LAN port on the dock? It's like, yeah, we could do that, but we're gonna need to take out another port. It's like, all right, just do that then, whatever. And can we make the screen bigger? It's like, yeah, we can make the screen bigger. Okay, that's the new Switch. Boardroom meeting over. Like, that was basically how it fucking went, I bet.
Bare
like,
minimum, dude. Bare fucking minimum, but they'll still buy.
Because they know.
Yep.
They're going to still turn a juicy profit out of it anyways. Like, Nintendo's never had a bad day on sales. It's just a fucking fact.
The Wii U, and that's it. And even that
after that, yeah.
Units, but after that, and also the Virtual Boy way back in the day, but that's a whole different era at this point.
Yeah.
The Wii U failed for a lot of reasons, but we're not going to get into that right now.
Yeah.
Dennis, I got to be real with you. I'm starting to get into a lot of pain. So I think I think it's time. I actually originally wanted this episode to be shorter. Now it's almost 2 hours. Might not even listen to this one back, since I don't feel like sitting at my computer for 2 hours again. I'll make my timestamps, and then I'll just, like, whatever. I'm sure Dennis didn't say anything I have to censor until right now when he's about to scream it. Go ahead.
Naggers.
It says naggers. Poor Randy, bro. He got so...
Pour your back. Jesus.
It'll get better. I've just been sitting here for like 2 hours is all, and like I need to walk and move in different positions. A couple days ago, I literally couldn't sit down. I literally couldn't sit. Sitting hurt more than anything else. A couple days before that, I couldn't stand. A couple days before, day before that, I couldn't walk. But now your boy's starting to get mobile again. It's all good. It's healing naturally on its own. I'm getting there.
Good.
Never in my fucking life ever having fucking acupuncture ever again. We're done here. Dennis, I want you tell the people. I don't even know where they can follow us. Where can they do it?
Wait, I actually wanted to hear your closing statements on like the whole Switch OLED fucking thing. Like, I'm curious because
is there more I have to say? I think I'm good. I mean, I think the Switch, I think it's going to sell specifically to people who don't have Switches yet. Tinier market, so I don't know if it'll do as well as the Switch Lite. But the holiday season comes around, people want Switches. This is sort of just another way for them to restock them, since it's a different unit. So kind of makes sense for them in that regard. Point is, it's going to sell. I doubt it's going to sell as much as the base Switch model, and frankly, even the Switch Lite. I don't know. It's going to be interesting seeing what they tell me, at the very least, in terms of how to market it, or how I decide, like, I want to start, like, selling it to people and whatnot. It's going to be interesting, but I think it's just, the same thing Nintendo's been doing for years. People have a right to be upset about it because it's not very many new features, but you got to also understand, as we can continue talking about this for a bit, there's a thing that the internet does, where they hear rumors about something, they get all hyped up at the idea of what those rumors could potentially be true, to the point where they then feel entitled to that thing, and then when that thing, where there was no evidence that that's what it was, comes out around and gets announced,
and they get upset.
And they dog on the thing because the company didn't understand. The company didn't release something that they decided was real from their imagination.
Their specifications. Yeah,
that's what
gonna
happens normally.
4K.
No one ever said the Switch was going to do this. They all just decided, this is what we want and this is what we deserve. And it's like, if they knew that in advance, maybe they could cater to it. Not that Nintendo would, since they're always behind hardware-wise. But the point I'm getting at is that people get crazy, unrealistic expectations, and then when those crazy, unrealistic expectations aren't met, they hate the company for it, and they say they don't care about us, and they're a failure, and they're greedy, and they only want this and that. It's like Nintendo's...
And they're still going to buy their shit.
And they're still going to buy it. Nintendo's been doing this for fucking 20 fucking years, you little inbred incel shitbags. It's nothing new. Get the fuck over it. Okay? People are still going to buy it. I remember people were mad complaining about how much they hated Nintendo for releasing the 3D All-Stars pack, since they were all pretty much just, remasters or just ports for the most part, depending on, like, which edition, depending on which game it was, whether it was 64 Sunshine or Galaxy. I made a whole video on that. You can check that out below, when I used to make gaming videos and then stopped because it took a lot of time that people didn't care about. I'm just going to say, like... people got so upset at the notion of that game, and then I saw them literally pre-ordering it later on Twitter. The same, not kidding. I'm not like, oh, but it looks like it's selling. I'm talking literally the same people. I had a friend who literally tweeted all caps. I had a tweet, all caps, I hate Nintendo, with them buying the product. Shut the fuck up. Why would I ever respect your opinions again after that?
I feel as if a lot of them are
Tell
just
me
kind
why.
of taking the piss. It's kind
like
of
I feel like they want to do it because Nintendo said like, oh, we're pulling this off the shelf, and they're diehard Nintendo fans, so they want to do it. But it's like, holy fuck, why are you still complaining? Now you're just being annoying, and I know you say you have the right to complain, which you do, but I also have the right to not want to talk to you because you're fucking annoying. If you're arguing about religion in a YouTube comments section, I think you're a fucking loser. If you're arguing about religion with somebody at a fucking party, guess what? Everyone there is gonna think you're an asshole. No one have the balls to have those fucking conversations you have on fucking Facebook with your drunkle Stan on like fucking in like person, but people have the right to think what they want to you about it. It's like that's not what free speech is. Free speech could be like free speech means the government can't censor you. Free speech doesn't mean like no repercussions for your actions or people can't think you're an asshole. I can think you're an asshole. I think I mute like half the people I follow on Twitter just because I'm sick of like what they say or like they tweet too much or they just retweet mad ignorant shit. It's like, dude. Talk with your wallet. It's the only language Nintendo understands.
Facts.
Okay?
Facts.
So stop buying it. Stop buying it. I buy it because I don't care. I bought the Game & Watch the Mario Edition. I didn't even open it yet. I'm thinking it might be worth something someday if I don't open it. Or maybe I'll play it one day. I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm a diehard Mario fan, so I wanted it. Oh, when are you supporting these half-ass practices? Like, dude, you pompous dillweed drinking your fucking, like, weed-infused IPA down in the corner, living in your fucking little Brooklyn shaft above a goddamn crack den that we talked about earlier. No one cares, all right? If you hate something and you hate the practice, which you have every fucking right to, every right, I think the OLED is pretty stupid, too. So don't buy it. That's all I'll say. So don't buy it.
You literally don't get, like, even for me, like, don't get bent out of shape for something that, like, if you're not going to buy it, then okay, then fuck it. Leave, go to your own little corner and fucking just say that to whoever wants to hear it. But literally, no one can give a fuck because at the same time, more than half of you, I know for a fact, who are going to go around saying, I'm not going to buy it, are literally going to turn around and buy it.
It's not even a new thing. Nintendo's been doing this forever, and it's like...
That's another thing, too. Like, you know, why are you guys getting passionate about a practice they've been doing for 20 years?
Because they don't know. It's because they don't remember. It's because they literally just don't remember. My first thought is just like, all right, Nintendo's doing the bare minimum here, which they are, but like... I don't know. No one complained about it back then. It's almost like they're adults now who realize they can think for themselves, but, you know, still hive mind with people regardless. It's like, I wanted the new DS. I'm like, it's cool. Whatever. I'm an adult now.
I still want a new DS. I still want a new one now, but I know for a fact I ain't going to get that. Like, I was still kind of salty when I found out that the 3DS was getting discontinued.
Yeah.
And, like, no offense to people who like the Switch and everything, but, like, I still think as far as portability goes, DS has got it beat. You can literally fit that shit in your fucking pocket. Not really comfortable, but like, I can still fit it in my pocket.
Especially like the big, chunky, normal 2DS. Like, ugh!
Yeah. Jeez,
carrying that around, it's like you're wobbling around like you have a back spasm injury.
You need like a cargo shorts within cargo shorts to fucking throw that shit in.
And the Zelda t-shirt. And that green Zelda t-shirt. Can't go wrong with that. Oh boy, but that's what I think for the most part, man. I mean, like, I just...
David's rants, everybody.
I think it's dumb. I think it's kind of silly. I think if you have a Switch, there's no reason to get it. I think it's good for people who don't have Switches yet, which I don't think it's going to do as well because I think most people have Switches at this point. But, you know, it's still going to sell like hotcakes, and I think Nintendo still feels like, okay, there's still enough juice in the Switch's lifespan since we're halfway through. Not enough people, there's still plenty of people who don't have one yet, even though I feel like most people do. But you know what? Maybe we can justify making this. We might turn a profit. That's why it has less features, probably. Maybe they just don't want to, like, make it more expansive. There's a whole discussion to be had about this. I guarantee they're going to be talking about it over on the Glintendo podcast. Because that's my friend's podcast that they do. I mean, they didn't invite me to their 4th of July celebration, so, you know, fuck them. They're not my friends. You can all suck my dick. But other than that, definitely go listen to the Glintendo podcast. We'll maybe put the link in the description below to that. I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe they knew I had a back injury. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I have my fears of having no friends anymore completely justified after a quarantine kind of thing. All my boys listening to my podcast right now, I love y'all. Suck my dick.
I fucking hate all of you.
I hate everyone regardless, dude. If there's any message that I'm going to go out here, and this has nothing to do with what we talked about on the episode today, I keep talking because can I make this episode 2 hours? Let's see if we can make it 2 hours.
Can I crack 2 hours?
Just to see if we can get it rounded. I'd like to quickly say that, Pride Month may be over. Pride Month may be over, right? But, like, you're all so valid and beautiful, and that's not even a joke. You are, like, no matter who you are. Like, I don't care if you're cis or trans or gay or straight or Lebanese or fucking bisexual or lesbian and Lebanese. All that stuff, non-binary, asexual, all that stuff, because I just want you all to know I fucking hate all of you no matter what.
Oh yeah, with all
I really do. I don't
with
care.
All my
I don't
being.
care who you are. I hate you. I have grown to become such a bitter bastard over the last year and a half from the social isolation. It hits, and I get even more angry when I have to isolate myself at home even more because of my 93-year-old grandmother. And then when I don't have to take care of that anymore because there's more people around and she has a helper. Oh, guess what? Let's have you be 93 years old and have your back completely fucking collapse to the point where you can't walk and spend your holiday weekend in bed. Fun times for the old David man, for the old Nintoonist. You can understand me becoming the bitter old bastard piece of shit that I become. Start getting me a little more hateful and maybe I'll start fucking blogging for Nintoonist, Pepe Trump, NRA.net. Then be like, man, this fucking guy needs love. He's so angry.
Comment, and subscribe.
He's starting to hate minority groups that he didn't even knew existed. Oh, fuck. It's just like Diddy Kong all over again. Look at what happened to that poor bastard. He hates everyone now. Shoutouts to Brentalfloss, man. The making Diddy Kong a fucking Trumper was the funniest thing I could have heard. He already has the hat. It's probably where he came up with that in the fucking first place. That man is a genius, bro. Brentalfloss. I love him.
He is.
He really fucking is. He's writing a Star Trek musical,
Oh, good for him.
It's a parody of The Wrath of Khan. It's a musical.
It's The Wrath of John.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. I would love to go see. I don't even watch too much Star Trek, but I've seen enough of it in passing because my dad loves it and so does my sister. So I think I've seen enough of it. Yeah, I didn't grow up with it, but I just saw it in passing. Never got into it.
No, but your dad though, he grew up with it.
Yeah, in his 40s. Yeah,
it's oh, this is nice.
But yeah, Switch OLED, it's got its market. It's still gonna sell. We'll do its thing. It's all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna forget about it in a couple of days. So
yeah, then you're gonna complain about the next fucking thing that Nintendo's gonna come out with, and you're gonna cry about that.
The Xbox Series Z or the PS5. Maybe I think there's gonna be a PS5 Slim.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. I have no idea.
But to be fair, though, they
fuck the PS5 controller. To talk about controllers, I hate that thing. And the PS4 controller, I hate the DualShock. My least favorite controller, free.
Fair enough. And at the same time, though, I think the PS5 is also shaped a little retardedly. That making a Slim is gonna make it look as if it's a straight up modem. like people are gonna confuse it for an actual internet modem. It's like, hey, yo, is that your modem? That looks fucking dope. It's like, I know that's from PS5. Like, oh shit. Looks like my modem back home. I got an internet, but still, holy shit. Just looking at it, I don't know what it is, but I just like symmetry.
So what?
Cause the PS5 don't look symmetrical.
Okay, now you sound like Hitler.
Everything needs to be symmetrical.
It's just how I be, bro.
Xbox Master Race.
I still like just normal looking computer cases for the most part. I don't really like crazy designs and shit.
I actually want to get some LEDs for mine to make it even more sparkly.
LEDs is fine, but I'm talking about shape though. But anyways,
I don't like the crazy shapes. That's just what do you put that in a box? How do you carry that around?
You look as if you could also stab a person's eye out with some of those cases.
All right, we're actually talking about fucking nothing right now.
Yeah.
I literally just wanted to see if I could get it to 2 hours since we were so close. I don't remember the last time we had a 2-hour episode. All right.
Mission accomplished?
Yeah. So, Dennis, why don't you go ahead and plug the socials?
All right, guys, you can find us on gofuckyourself.com.
That's not the social.
And fuckyourmom.org.
That's not it. That's literally not it, dude.
Trump is my daddy.
No, he's not.
Net.
He's basically dead. He's in Florida just melting away in the sun somewhere, just waiting for death.
Not Facebook. Twitter. Instagram. Spotify.
At Double D Pod for Twitter.
At Double D Pod for Twitter. Double D Experience on Instagram.
Double D Experience 21 on Instagram, I think.
21 on Instagram, yep. We also got. You can also find us on the many podcast platforms that your mother and your father use, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm gonna scratch my nuts podcast.
Google Podcast, Pocket Cast,
Google
all
Podcast.
that stuff. Yeah,
all that stuff.
and also
You're
on
gonna find-
youtube.com/Nintoonist.
which is your boy right here. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be our episode. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, feel free to ask us more questions in the comments. We can,
Yeah, please,
Let's
send us
actually
more
do that. Like, if
questions.
you guys want to ask us questions
Yeah.
for like more stuff you want us to talk about, we're not kidding. Nothing is off limits. Like we do
Post them.
not care on this fucking show. We will, to the best of our ability, we will answer them.
And going off of David, post them in the YouTube comments. We will read them.
Yes.
I probably won't respond, but I will read them. So if you guys want a question,
Or send us messages on the Twitter. Our DMs are open.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if anything, I'm gonna probably, at least for me, I'll probably read the YouTube comments more. So just drop them in there if you want to get a
All right,
question.
so if you got a
asked. That's
specific
just for me.
question for Dennis,
Yeah.
then go ahead in the comments.
Yeah.
We are done. I don't know how smart of an idea it was to ramble about nothing just to get it to 2 hours, but it was only like 9 minutes out of
Switch
100
OLED makes
100 and fucking 20.
Switch OLED makes my balls itch.
It's making a lot of people's balls itch right now. You might want to go to the store to fix that. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. You just hear from the distance like, oh man, my nuts got a scratch. They got an itch.
Lights off.
Oh.